Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the Her Fire online experience. I'm so super excited. We are live Clubhouse, we are live YouTube. So look, I'm going to give you an opportunity to send out the link to add your besties so they can get in the room, they can get online because it is about to go down. The Her Fire Tour online global experience. I'm so super excited. I'm so honored to share this space with you. I'm honored for the assignment that God has given me. I'm honored to be a vessel that God is using in this time and in this season. So look, the Her Fire Tour. I want to give you a little history about the Her Fire Tour, what it's all about, and all those amazing things. It is the premier launching pad for new aspiring authors, coaches, and speakers to learn how to get paid to be themselves by turning their mess into their message that positions them to make millions and reach millions. When the speakers enter the fire stage, they are locked and loaded with the tools, the tips, the strategies that you need to take your business to the next level. Now, the fire stage is just not for anybody. It's not for the faint of heart. It's for women who have decided that I have a message, I have a word that the world needs to hear. And if you are that speaker, I need you to tune in because we have some amazing speakers that's going to come and equip you in the area of 4 elements of fire. It's embracing your femininity, developing your unique impact, tapping into your riches to create your extraordinary life so that you can show up different. You can show up powerful. You can show up equipped, that you can show up as a girl on fire. The Her Fire Tour, our goal is to empower you with your voice as a vessel of God to empower others through your story. We realize that you have been praying for a breakthrough, and we have the answer that you need. God has provided us with the tools, the tips, and the strategies to take your speaking, your coaching, your authorship business to the next level. Now, look, now I want to get ready to bring the first amazing woman to the stage, but I want to give you an opportunity to go ahead, share, like, comment, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're on Clubhouse, let me know that you are in the room. If you are on YouTube, let me know that you are looking, you are listening. Just go ahead and hit that share button. Go ahead and comment. Let me know where you're in from because you are in for a treat. We are in the midst of leading up to our third city, which is Atlanta, July 9th. If you are in Atlanta, Baltimore, New York, Dallas, Texas, Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, you are in where's other cities? Miami, you are in Raleigh, you are in Myrtle Beach. You need to get in the building. We have already kicked off 2 cities, and we say God had just moved phenomenally. Lives were impacted, lives were changed. Women have been restored, refreshed, they have been healed. Look, this is the world's #1 platform for the female speaker, the minister, the pastor, whatever field that you are in, you are providing service, you are providing service to people, you are sharing your word, the message. This is the platform for you. So I know y'all ready for the first amazing woman that I'm going to bring to the stage. And we're going to talk a little bit about who she is, what she do, and why she is on the Her Fire Tour. Miss Tamara Bush.
Hey, B. Hey, beautiful.
Welcome to the fire stage.
Yes, honey. Yes. And I'm here for it. I am definitely here for it on this Her Fire Friday. If you all are watching the live stream, or if you go back and watch the replay, I want y'all to drop some fireballs in the chat. This is going to be a phenomenal experience. I'm super, 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 super excited and honored to share the stage with Miss AB, her fire training girl on fire, who is empowering other women to walk in their purpose and walk in their fire and their boldness,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
their boldness, because that's what it's all about, being your true authentic self and walking in your boldness and not letting anyone else dim your light. So who am I? Who am I? My name is Tamara T. Bush, and what I love to do is to teach and educate. I have a purpose, and my purpose is to help parents, elders, guardians take back their families, right? Take back their families. Because I feel as though everything that's been happening in society has been to divide the family unit. And the family unit is one of the most powerful entities on the face of the earth when we unite. It's one of the most powerful entities. So how do we begin to take back the family unit? You know, we get caught up in our day-to-day, going to work, making dinner for our children, caring for our children. But oftentimes we run out of time in any given day to have those meaningful conversations that we need to have, not only with our husband, our spouse, our partner, our significant other, but our children, because everything in our day, it just moves so fast. It goes so fast. So where do we find the time? Where do we find the time to make those connections with our children? And so this is what I do. I help open up those discussions, getting people to think outside the box in terms of their finances and their credit, right? I'm trying to help us see things from another perspective, because certain things that we've been taught is the conventional method of approaching our finances and credit and discussions with our family. But it's time that we open those things up. It's time that we open it up. We gotta begin to open up these conversations, right? Once we begin to open up these conversations with our children and our family, it's going to create a new gateway to live in a different type of life, right? And so if you all do not follow me, again, my name is Tamara T. Bush. I am here to get you to think outside the box. That is my sole purpose. So we're gonna look at some things from another perspective. So let's get into this thing, right? So when we look at everything that's happening in the world today, there's a lot of different influences on society, right? A lot of the times, people run in packs, they run in bunches. So our perception of the world is molded by what we see, is molded by what we see on social media, what we're being fed through the news outlets, right? We're being molded and shaped to have a certain ideology that is not necessarily beneficial to the family unit. And so right now, a lot of people are out for themselves. We're in survival mode because we see all of these things happening, with our children being attacked, with the elderly being attacked. But I feel as though if we can just get back to the family unit, then we can begin to heal from some of the things that has plagued our community for all of these years, right? And so the family unit is what makes up society. So the best way for us to have an impact on society is to do the work in house with our family first, right? Because the family influences community, the community influences the society that we live in. So we have so many families that are broken. They're broken and they're trying to do what they need to do in order to propel their family forward, but we don't necessarily have the tools and the resources that we need in order to do that. And so when you hear someone speak, you're like, okay, well, how does that apply to me? How does that apply to me? How does that affect my day to day, right? That's the question, because a lot of the times people don't think that certain things apply to them. But everything that's happening in the society is going to affect you in some way, shape, or form at your front door, right? It's inevitable. It is. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. And so, because we don't believe that these things are going to affect us at our front door, we don't get involved because it doesn't have an immediate effect. But it's going to have some sort of effect, either if we see it in our lifetime or if we see it in our children's lifetime or their children's lifetime down the line to the next generation. So it's very important to me to ensure that I do the work. Now, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I can't change the world. I cannot change the world, but I can have some sort of impact, right? And that's my goal, is to just have impact. And if I'm able to impact one mother, one father, one family, one child outside of my own, then I would have done my job. And that's what I'm here to do. So the family unit, let's talk about the family for a little bit, right? I am a huge proponent of believing that family comes first. Now, if it's blood family or if it's not blood family, either way, you have the ability to shape and mold who you consider to be family, right? And so it's amazing to me that when I look at how our name is being shown on our passport, our driver's license, it's always putting the family name last. Now, you were born as a natural person, right? You have feelings, you have flesh, you have color, you have personality. This is what makes up the natural person. You are an original, authentic manifestation of God's love. There is only one you. There will never be another you. You have a unique fingerprint. You have a unique autograph. You have a very unique voice. You have a unique personality. There is no one on the face of the earth that will ever be you, and there will never be another you. So let me ask you a question. Why is it that we are putting family last? And just bear with me, let me explain. So your family name is the name that was held by your family before you were born. You inherited your family name. In a conventional sense, you inherited it from your father, right? But let's say that you inherited your family name from your mother. Either way, it's still a family name. That family name was in existence before you were even born, right? So that is considered your surname, your family name. Okay, so when you were born, you were given a name, or you were gifted a name, right? And that's your first name and your middle name. But when you look at your driver's license, why does it put your first name and your middle name first and your family name last? And so this is what I'm saying about society. Society has conditioned us to put our family last. Think about it. It all goes into how things are being perceived, right? And so if you perceive your family to come last, then your actions are going to exhibit the fact that you are putting your family last. And so when you look at other cultures around the world, the family name always comes first. So why is it that in our culture, the family name is placed last? Let me tell you. We have to stand on our family principles. If you are putting your family last, then what does that say about our morals and our belief system, right? Do we really, really, truly believe that family should be last, or are we just conditioned to put our family last by way of our actions and how we manage things from on a day-to-day basis, right? So if we're pulling our family last, then that means the community suffers. And then if the community suffers, that means that society is going to suffer as a whole. So why is it important to know that your family name comes first? Because it is a depiction of your name. Your name is one of the most powerful tools that you can use in business, because what did AB say? We have to empower ourselves to make sure that we're running our businesses the right way. We want to have the tools and resources that we need to make sure that we're operating with honesty and integrity, and that we have our systems in place to make sure that we're running our businesses. But we're forgetting the very thing that is probably the most powerful thing, even outside of your business, which is your name. We do everything that we need to do to protect our brands. We have our intellectual properties. A lot of us are very creative, and we're like, oh my goodness, I don't want anybody to steal my brand. I don't want anyone to steal my intellectual property, or I don't want anyone to rewrite my book or re-record a song. These things are what you have produced as a result of the family and the belief system that you come from. So why do we go on to protect all of these other things, right? But we're not taking the time to protect our name. We're not taking the time to protect our name, right? Hold on, let me turn this down. The name is just as powerful as her fire. Your name is just as powerful as any business that you put up on the Secretary of State, right? Right? And so one of the things that I didn't mention in the beginning is that I do credit repair and I also teach consumer law. But one of the things that I teach my students is that in order for you to try to get any sort of result or remedy from those companies that you're going after, the one thing that we have to do is to protect our name, right? Because think about it. Any piece of mail or any document that you receive or any document that you sign, any contract that you enter into bears your name. And so because it bears your name and potentially bears your autograph, you have a vested interest in that document. You have a vested interest. But one of the issues that I'm seeing is that because we have not properly protected the name, we are waiving our right to receive the interest and the payments by the use of the name. So all of these corporations, all of these companies are getting paid to buy and sell our name. The consumer reporting agencies, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they buy and sell your name every single day. They actually took it upon themselves to create a whole profile about you that is supposed to represent you that you never gave them permission to do. We never gave them permission to do. But because of our conventional way of thinking and because of what we have been conditioned to perceive to be the course of ordinary business, we think that is normal that these companies have the right to do this. But let me tell you, you never gave them permission to do that. And there are laws in place that will back you up and protect you against the use of your name. This is why the family name is so vitally important for us to protect it, right? Your name is a gold mine, but we have to tap into that and know and understand that we have to protect our name, same way that we protect everything else. We protect our cars. We have insurance on our vehicles. We have insurance on our phones. Why do we not have some sort of insurance on the name? Or why have we not incorporated the name or filed some sort of DBA on the name? Because let me tell you, once you protect the name, you're going to have a completely different conversation with those companies that you're trying to come up against, i.e. the consumer reporting agencies, or if you have someone that is reporting a collections, or they send you a letter in the mail saying that you owe a debt, guess what? The fact that they even printed your name on that document entitles you to payment. And it entitles you to payment all day, every day. And that's what we're missing out here in business. Yes, we are very creative. We have people that can sew, they can make music, they have products and services that they can sell. But the one underlying missing factor is that we are failing to protect the name. And that right there is going to help resolve a lot of issues with the companies that we're having. We definitely have to go and take in and get our names protected, because what's going to happen is we can't get remedy. We can't get remedy from these companies because we have not protected the name. So what is one of the ways that you can go and protect your name? And I'll give you the least costly thing that you can do today. You can do today to go ahead and protect your name, right? So I don't know what state you're in. If you're watching the replay or if you're watching this live, drop your city and state in the chat. Drop your city and state in the chat, right? So that we can get you the resources that you need when you go to file to protect your name. Now, I am also speaking about doing the trademark. That is definitely something that you want to do. But there's something that you can do at your county level and at your state level to begin to protect your name. And one of those things is called a DBA, or a sole proprietorship, right? A DBA means doing business as. So let's go back. Let's rewind it just for a second, right? So we spoke about the family name and the fact that your family name comes first. Your family name is your surname. Your first and middle name is your given name. But when you look at your driver's license, it says first name, middle name, and last name. That is what we call a legal name. Have you ever heard anybody say, stop calling me by my government name? You know how when a child is in trouble, the parent will call their full name out? My full name, Tamara LaShawn Tober. Tamara LaShawn Tober. And so when they call your full name out, you know that you're in trouble. You know that you are in trouble. You did something wrong. but they're calling out the legal name that was assigned to you by the government. That is not your family name. That's your legal name. So when you look at your driver's license, it says first name, middle name, and last name, right? But why is the family name being placed in the back instead of the front? Because it's depicting two different people, right? So when you go to do a DBA with your county register of deeds, I know here in North Carolina, Mecklenburg County, you do it at the county level, and then they actually take it and they submit it to the state level, right? And then they give you like the Secretary of State ID, right? So when you go and get your assumed business name filed on your legal name, that is one of the first steps that you can take in order to protect your name. So that when all of these companies are coming against you stating that they're trying to collect the debt or stating that you owe the money, the fact that you have taken the first step to protect the name, your name, is going to cause you to have a completely conversation about what they're trying to contact you on, right? So we can't even get to the fact of the matter and you stating that I owe a debt, because we have to deal with the issue of your use of my protected name. See how that conversation changes a little bit? It changes a little bit. We have to get to the conversation about your use of my protected name, right? So I don't know if I think my time is running up, but I just wanted to stress the importance of family first. Family first. If anyone is taking your family name and listing it as your last name, that's just plain disrespectful. It's just plain disrespectful. We have got to get back to putting our family first. So we want to be able to instill those values in our children to know that the name is powerful, the name is meaningful, right? It's very meaningful. And so we want our children to be proud of the name that they have. And so when you have a governmental agency that switches the order in which the family name should appear, we have to correct the record so that we can begin to gain our rights back and gain the ability to collect the interest on the use of the name. So I hope that that was helpful. I hope that that was helpful. Again, look up the form that you need in order to file for your assumed business name. Follow the instructions. If you all have questions, I think AB is going to drop my link in the description of the video. Shoot me a message. You can go to the website, shoot me a message, and we'll go ahead and get you situated. But I hope that that was helpful in knowing one of the things that we should focus on in order to begin to get our house in order. So.
You better say that.
I'm telling you.
When I first heard that you said that on Clubhouse, I was like, okay, that went totally over my head. I did not understand anything that you were saying, legal name, family name, but when you just broke it down, now I understand. Because you see that my Angela, Nicole, comma, then brand. And you think about the history of it, how we don't honor the legacy of our family name, how
Yes.
to us, and putting respect on the name.
Come on.
Name, not so much of the legal name, which is your first name and your middle name, but the family name, that's the name to hold the legacy.
Yes, ma'am.
I understood it quickly. So look, Tamara is one of those that's helping us tap into our riches and understanding who we are as fire girls and creating that legacy of wealth and honoring the name. If you even go into the aspect of marriage and the family name and all those aspects, that's a whole nother category in a sense of why it's such an emphasis on the woman taking on the man's name, the family name, carrying out that legacy. So let's talk a little bit about that and how it relates to our credit and honoring our name.
Right. So I think I'm getting some feedback. Hold on. When you pull your credit report, and I recommend that everyone do this, right? Since COVID, the CARES Act allows us to pull a copy of our consumer reports once every 7 days. I don't know if everyone knows that. And this is in the United States. I can't speak for any other country, right? In order for us to begin to protect ourselves, one of the things that we have to do is clean up all the different variations that appear on our consumer report. These companies are not vested in ensuring that 100% accurate information is being reported on your consumer report. So they are misidentifying you. And if you're being misidentified, that means you're being misrepresented, right? And if you're being misrepresented, that means that you can't claim all of your rights, titles, and interest in the use of your name. So your identification that you have, there should only be one name on your consumer report that matches what your identification shows, right? Your driver's license is a legal name, but you signed as a natural person. So however that name appears on your driver's license, if it has first name, middle initial, last name, or if it has your full middle name spelled out, your consumer report should mirror that, right? Your consumer report should mirror that. Now, here's the kicker. When you go and begin to clean up a old variation of your name that's not accurate, the derogatory account that was connected to that name could potentially fall off, right? The same with your address. You should only have one address on your consumer report, just one that matches the address on your driver's license. So if the address on your driver's license is outdated, go ahead and get it updated. It's okay. A lot of people be like, I don't want people to know where I live. They should know where you live. They should know where the legal person resides. Think about it. This is business. They need to know the residence of the legal person. So go ahead and get your driver's license updated to your current address, right? Because you're going to go then and go clean up those names with the consumer reporting agency. And if you have an account that you're trying to get removed and the address falls off, that account falls off too. Credit repair is very simple. We need to make sure that we have the one name, the one address.
So you go ahead. Go ahead and turn your microphone on Clubhouse, and I'm gonna turn mine off.
Okay. Okay. Is that better? I think that's better. Okay, that's better. All right. So one name, one address, one employer, one telephone number. And they all need to be accurate and up to date, right? This is how you begin to protect your name. You want to be able to control the information that's being disseminated out when somebody pulls your consumer report, right? It has to be streamlined and accurate. And you can do this by simply picking up the phone, calling the consumer reporting agencies, and giving them what the correct information should be right over the phone. You don't even need to send a letter. You can do this by making a simple phone call, and they will do it for you over the phone, just like that. It's just that easy.
Same day.
Same day. Same day. I'm telling you, listen, I have a video on my YouTube channel that says how to clean up your credit report in 48 hours. 48 hours. I want you all to go and check it out. It's a very detailed video. I'm literally giving you step by step for free of what you need to do to clean up your report. But the first step is going to be to address your personal information. So take the time out to make sure that your driver's license is accurate, your address is accurate. If you don't have a residential address, go to the post office and use $30 and open up a post office box and switch everything over to that. You want to have you want to have consistency across the board in how all of your information is appearing. That is going to be the very, very, very first step in cleaning up your consumer report. The very first step. So the use of the name is vitally important because I look at it like this. When someone messes up my name, to me, I look at it as a form of abuse and disrespect, right? And so when you go and you read the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it speaks about abuse and misrepresentation, and there are laws that will back you up because you decide what abuse is. When someone calls you and they mispronounce your name, that's a form of abuse, and you don't have to deal with that. It is a form of abuse, and it's considered obscene language. Anytime, I'm telling y'all, it's considered obscene language. Obscene language is just not profanity. When someone is misrepresenting your family, that is a form of abuse and disrespect. So we need to begin to take our rights back That's what I empower people to do. My job is to empower, which is why I give a lot of information for free, right? A lot of information for free, because I want you all to be empowered. You shouldn't be dependent on a company to do the work for you. Yes, I do credit repair, but I'm going to give you the information first. And then if you decide, you know what, I don't have time to do this, Tamara, can you just do it for me? Absolutely. I will definitely do it for you. But I at least want you to give it a try. This is all about women's empowerment, right? So don't be afraid to get on the phone and speak to these people and handle your business. Because I promise you, if you do it that first time, the second time is going to be that more easier. And every other time, it's going to be like the back of your hand. It's going to be like clockwork. And then you will be confident enough to begin to teach this information to your children. But us as parents, we need to get the information first to make sure that we're passing down the right information to our children, so that they don't go out here in this broken system trying to survive and start from scratch. No, we have to be the springboard for our children so that they're not starting at the bottom level. We need them to start right here. We need them to start right here. And so right here is going to be all of the things that you teach your children. And so from this point, they go up. From this point, they go up. Look at all of these other cultures. They're providing their children with a solid foundation on which to stand, right? They're teaching their children family principles, right? We have to teach our children finance and credit and how to protect the name. Because let me tell y'all, my son will be 14-year-old next week. He goes into high school this coming, going into high school, y'all. I ain't ready. But guess what? He's going to be having a completely different conversation than his classmates. And they're going to be like, what are you talking about? And so then they're going to be intrigued. And then they're going to go home and be like, Mom, do you know this boy in my class says such and such? And so then that's going to intrigue the parent. You see how the ripple effect goes? That's the ripple effect. But we can't get it going. We can't get those waves going if we don't get the conversation started.
I absolutely love how you broke it down to understand the deeper meaning, because we hear, okay, credit, but that's your name. That's your name. That's who we identify you as. And if we hear your name and we hear bad credit or inconsistency attached to it, now that's your reputation. Now that's your brand.
Yes, ma'am, honey. That's the FCRA. Yep. It speaks about your general reputation, your mode of living. All of these things affects how the world perceives you, right? Now,
but isn't it sad that these are not the foundational things that we were taught coming up? Because they started keeping credit score around the 80s or the 90s, somewhere around in there.
Yeah. The FICO score really, in terms of credit applications, really didn't come into play until the 70s and the 80s, right? So even the way that they handle your Social Security account, the Social Security cards, everything just looks different now, right? And so your credit report, think about this. Your credit report is a report of all the monies that are owed to you. That's why it's called a credit report. So we're thinking credit because we apply for credit, we were extended credit. But the credit report reflects all of the monies that are supposed to be paid to you by the use of your name. But because you haven't taken control of the name, you have waived your right to receive interest and to receive payments by the use of that name. So everyone out here has rights, titles, and interests in the use of your name, but you. They're making billions of dollars off of you.
I can get paid because they illegally use my name.
You can't get paid because you have not taken ownership of the name.
Gotcha.
You have to take ownership of the name. And we have not done that. We're just out here conducting business, doing commerce, living our life, but we don't realize that ownership of the name provides interest payments, right? And so we cannot collect because we don't own nothing. Now, they don't own it either. But they have a security interest in it, right? Because they contracted with you. These companies have contracted with you. And when you sign a document, you're actually signing over an interest to those other companies. But you have not identified yourself as the beneficial owner of the name. You're the beneficial owner, right?
Ooh,
Only owners get paid. And so we're being taught, they have a saying out here, own nothing and control everything. Okay, I hear you on that. I definitely hear you on that. But until you establish yourself as the beneficial owner of the name, honey, you are waiving your rights. The name matters. It matters. So don't, that own nothing and control everything, don't get caught up in that, and get away from using your own name that you were gifted at birth. Don't get caught up in that. And this is where I begin to, usually when I do my coaching sessions, I speak about mindset, because we have to get into the habit of sort of deprogramming everything that we knew and what we were taught, and we have to replace that with good information. We need up-to-date information in order to make reasonably informed decisions. And so right now, a lot of us are operating off of old principles and old ideas, and that's why we're stagnant, because we're not updating the software of the mind. We update the software of our computer, our phone, but when you don't update the software of the mind, we don't have the room or capacity to receive new information, because we're at the limit with old, outdated information, right? And so it's when I tell it, it's amazing. And so when we don't update our software, we block those new downloads, meaning we reject new information because we don't understand it. We don't understand it. So we want to begin to open up. And as you receive more information, just know that God is sending you messengers. He is sending you those people to deliver those messages for you, but we keep rejecting the messages because we're not in a proper mindset. And we have closed ourselves off to receiving new information.
Well. Hey, Tamara just dropped the mic on us. She just gave us valuable information that we absolutely need to teach us how to protect our name. And I'm so super excited and honored that you decided to come to the fire stage and give us these nuggets and all these amazing things. You can put yourself back on mute.
Thank you so much.
Look, Tamara, she just dropped the mic. We have already dived into the Her Fire online experience. We are getting into the tapping into her riches and understanding how to protect our name, how to really get in a place where we honor our name. Like, we honor our name. I came to the realization when I understood where my last name came from, Brand, and I did not know what it meant growing up. And I always had that question, where did I come from and where did my last name come from? I did not know that my calling was attached to my name. Angela Nicole Brand. Angela means angelic messenger. Nicole means the blessed one. Then you have Brand, mean to help bring identity or help someone create their identity. I am a messenger that is blessed by God to help women discover who they are. And that is basically what I do. It's all in the name. For so many years, I didn't like Angela because I felt like it was a white girl's name. But now I love Angela. I love my name because now I understand the assignment that is attached to my name. And because of you breaking it down, now I have to be more meaningful in how I honor the name and how individuals, when they hear my name, whether it's bills, creditors, whoever, that they honor and put some respect on the name. Put some respect on the name. So look, if you are in Clubhouse and you have some questions for Tamara, just come on and ask to come to the front of the room to ask your questions. We're dropping nuggets on the online Her Fire experience. Look, we are entering into Atlanta July 9th, and I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. Look, 12 cities, Baltimore, Myrtle Beach, I think I remember Raleigh, Chicago, Detroit, New York, Dallas, Atlanta, closing out in Miami and back in Charlotte. I'm so super excited for the online experience and all the amazing speakers. Look, I don't know about you, but I am connected to some amazing women. We have the world's best and most powerful women that come to this stage. I am publicly declaring that the Her Fire Tour is the world's #1 tour for new, inspiring female speakers, authors, coaches, ministers, leaders, educators. This is the platform for you. So if you have not registered for the Her Fire Tour, go and register at www.herfiretour.com. So once again, can we give it up for Tamara? Woo, woo! She dropped some nuggets on us. So look, y'all ready for the next amazing speaker? I think I want to call Alicia Richardson up to the stage. Coach Lee, come to the stage and let's see what the Lord, look, come on up to the room. Clubhouse, come on off mute so we can just dive right on into this. Look, she's one of my besties. She's my sister. She's my friend. She's a client. She's a student, and I love her so dearly. She is the self-love guru, where #MeFirst is a priority. She does the meditations on the tour. And look, I'm just going to let her come in her own way and do her thing.
First, I want to say thank you, AB, for this platform that you've given all of us an opportunity to be on. We really highly appreciate you. Thank you also, Tamara. You gave some nuggets that I just was like, well, hold up, wait a minute. I got to go and make some phone calls and get some stuff situated. So thank you so much for all of that. Highly appreciated. So I want to go and say who I am again. Yes, I am Alicia, also known as Coach Lee, and I take a stand for self-love, letting you know that you have to love yourself. You have to go deep within you because it starts with you. And if you're not doing the things to operate with you, then how are you able to operate and assist others? So with that, #MeFirst, putting yourself first, doing the things that you need to do for you. And it goes back, if you're not putting yourself first, how can you make sure your credit is good? How can you make sure your name is standing on your name? Thank you again, Tamara, for them nuggets. So what I want to talk about also is when it comes to loving yourself, putting yourself first, you have to also be in a position to open up, to heal them wounds from your past, heal them inner child wounds, them adolescence wounds. You have to love and nurture on them wounds. When I say me first, it was once upon a time that I did not put myself first. It was once upon a time that I didn't know how to put myself first. And I was looking for love in all the wrong places. The thing about it is when you constantly looking for love in all the wrong places, you're expecting so many other people to give love that you need to give yourself. You're going to get disappointed all the time. You're not going to be pleased. Something is always going to be missing. You're always going to be chasing and looking for that love. So I'm here to remind you that the love you're looking for is inside of you. It's inside of you. So it's a way to go inside and truly turn within so that you can love all on you. And part of that starts with knowing your love language, knowing what you are, your order of your love language, so that you can love yourself the way you need to be loved and show others how to love you. Because if you're not showing others how to love you, they're gonna love you any kind of way, and you're gonna receive that in any type of way that they give it to you. So know that you are the creator. It starts with you. And when I go and talk about your love languages, I'm just gonna briefly tell you what they are for those who don't know what the love languages are. You have your acts of service. With your acts of service is basically action speaks louder than words. The things that you can do for me as far as like doing the chores and stuff like that, assisting me with things around the house. That's part of acts of services. That's part of the things that you like. Receiving gifts. With receiving gifts is you really like someone to give you gifts. You like someone to, and it could be small gifts, take you on trips, doing things like that. Quality time. You like someone that's always there to spend time with you, giving you their undivided attention, being there for you. Words of affirmation, basically speaking them words, encouraging, uplifting, I am, and whatever comes after that resonate with you. For example, I am enough, I am worthy, I am beautiful. Physical touch. Using your body language to emphasize this love language, touching you. It could be just a hug, holding your hands, something like that. So these are the 5 love languages. And I had to say them real quick and give a brief on what they are. Now, as I go a little bit deeper and talk about the love languages, a lot of times we resonate our love language off of what we're going through at this given moment and now. And when we choose in the order of our love language, of course, you're going to choose the one that's going to be at top is the one that's really deeply resonating with you at that time. And you choosing it is because something you was lacking and missing. I'm going to repeat that. You chose that particular love language for your top one at that time because it was something that was missing and lacking. For example, if you are someone that's like, I just want quality time, that's my main one. I'm not worrying about nothing else. Quality time is my top love language. And it could come back from when you was younger, you didn't have no one there. You felt neglected, you felt abandoned, you felt like no one was there to comfort you, to be there for you. So now you're resonating, your quality time is let someone be there. Can someone just hold me? Can someone just hug me? Can someone be there for me? So it goes back to having to face some wounds that you chose not to face. You buried them, you covered them up, you just did not want to deal with them. And a lot of times we even think, oh, I healed from a situation when we really did not. And the way you realize you did not heal from that situation is because a small trigger happens to come up. And it could be something as simple as someone didn't take the trash out and you just blow all up about it. Why you can't take the trash out? Why the trash is spilling over? And it just makes you so angry and so mad. It's like you really getting all blowed up, out of shape, bent out of shape because the trash didn't get took out. It's deeper than the trash not being took out. And a lot of times we don't want to face a lot of things because of them deep wounds. A lot of times we try to ignore the things that happen because we feel as though we ignore the things that happen. I apologize, y'all. That's the dog next door and I'm outside. A lot of times if we ignore the things that happen, we can get over it. It can get covered up. It can get deleted out of our way and we just move forward and keep going. And we covering it up, we pushing it under the rug, and we just not going to face that. We're just not going to deal with that. By us not dealing with that, it's making it worse. So as time progresses on, as time grows, it does not get better. Covering it up with other things, piling it up with other stuff that we think will make it heal, it won't. So when you start really getting in a space where it's like, let me figure out why these little things are really bothering me? What happened to cause this to happen? It always is like a domino effect. When one little thing happens, other things start to fall into place. But if you're not really paying attention to the things that really cause that pain, for example, again, is if you were someone that was in an abusive relationship and you finally overcame it, you finally was able to grow from it, but yet you never properly healed from it. And when I say you didn't properly heal from it, is you did not go back to find out how did you attract that type of relationship? What happened in my past that caused me to attract this particular type of relationships? And you may say, why would I attract that? I did not attract that type of relationship. We attract who we are at that given moment in time in our life. And I am someone also, I'm an advocate of domestic violence and sexual assault because I also am an overcomer of domestic violence and sexual assault. And in the past, when I was in a relationship, I used to always say, why me? Why me? Why am I going through this? What happened? And it comes to find out that from when I was younger, some wounds and some things did not get properly healed. And I started looking for love in all the wrong places, even if it had to be someone doing things to me that was abusive. I resonated that with love because I did not know how to properly love me. I did not know how to recognize a healthy loving relationship because I was battling with some things within inside of me that I was not trying to heal. I was running from myself. And when you constantly running from yourself, what are you doing? You're attracting other things in a negative vibe, a negative way that's doing the same thing. So if I'm running from myself, I'm attracting someone else that's hurt, broke, and running from their self. So now there's two hurt and broke people trying to fix each other. So when it goes back to our love language, we trying to love each other in a way that we don't know how, not even knowing the order of our love language, not even knowing what is needed for ourselves. So we trying to fulfill that void that we was missing and was like, oh, well, this is my love language. This is what I need to fulfill this void. This is what I need to assist me in loving me. So once you start diving deeper and looking within and knowing, wow, when I was younger, I got molested. When I was younger, I got raped. I witnessed abuse. I dealt with all of this, but I was never properly told how to heal that baby inside of me. That little girl was never nurtured. That little girl did not know that she mattered. She was enough. So it's time to go back and hug on her, nurture her, love on her, and let her know you got her. Let her know you're there to comfort her, be there for her, love on her, give her that love that she was always looking for when she was searching in all the wrong places. Giving yourself a hug, embracing you. And when it comes to your love language, go deeper into, well, which one really resonates to me that I feel as though I'm missing from this? Why am I missing these pieces that I feel like I need this right now? As you dive in deeper and you realize, and these are the pieces that I missed when I was younger, when I was that little girl and hurting and pain. Now I can start thriving on her, loving on her, nurturing her, healing her. So I can know where to start looking for love at, which is within me. Hashtag me first. It has to start with me. I have to love all on me so I can show others how to love me. So others can receive my love I have to share. So others can recognize the love and light that I have inside of me and provide it for me. So they're not giving me the love that they want me to just have because this is what I'm accepting. No more accepting any less. Know your true worth. Know your value. Know that you are your love, your light, your power. Regain your power back. Grab a hold of it by looking inward, by nurturing you, healing you, loving on you, and accepting the things that you neglected so that you can start working towards healing it. I am Alicia. Thank you all for listening.
Come on now. Hashtag me first. OMG. Can we say she this drop the mic? OMG. I love it. Come on. Hashtag me first. Put that in the chat. Put that on Clubhouse. Hashtag me first. When we first started the tour and you were breaking down the love languages, we all was like, okay, I don't know what my love language is now, because what? Now we have to go back and see, did I pick this from a place of lack? Did I pick this from a place of, this is what I was needing in my life? And I just, every time you teach, I just love it. And you're getting bigger and you're digging deeper and deeper and deeper into the aspect of this love language. I just, you know what? I'm just waiting on the book.
Right.
I'm just waiting on the book. I need to speak that into your life. I need to wait on the book, the workbook, the course, all that stuff, to help women really get to the, women and men, to get to the place of, okay, what is my true love language from a whole place?
Yes.
From a whole place. If he never tell me I'm beautiful, will I feel beautiful? Or would I try to get his attention? Do I really need those words of affirmations to be who God already created me to be? Because we're talking about her fire. And walking as a girl on fire is all about loving yourself, putting yourself first. Yes, I'm a mother. Yes, I'm a wife. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I may be a teacher. Yes, I may be an employee, but I am womb man first. And if I'm not right, I can't give you 100% of who I am. Because most of the time we give ourselves from a 40% from an empty cup, but we're not giving our full selves. What would it look like, those of you listening, what would it look like if you showed up 100% you? 100% power, 100% confidence, 100% of assurance, 100% of everything for you. So I thank you, Coach Lee. Do anybody have any questions? Look, coming in the chat room. We on YouTube, we live Clubhouse. This is the first time her fire tour has been live Clubhouse and YouTube. I'm so super excited. We got some more powerful women that's waiting in the queue. Look. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and send out the link to everybody you know. Let them know that the Her Fire Tour online is going down. Now, are we ready for our next amazing speaker? I want to call none other than the confident chick herself, Miss Sonia Spencer, to the fire stage. So if you can unmute yourself via Clubhouse and Zoom, turn your camera on. We are ready to have you up to the fire stage.
Up on Clubhouse. I'm on the stage.
Yep. Spencer.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is. Can you hear me on Clubhouse? Okay, there it is.
There you go. Tell us a little bit about who you are,
My name is Sonia Spencer. I am the confident coach. I am dedicated to, how would you say it? I am dedicated to the development and the training of 1 million women to help them develop their confidence and their courage. So what I wanted to speak to women about is, especially women in their 50s. So I am a woman who just newly was divorced about 2 years now, year and a half. And sometimes as women, we feel stuck in a relationship. We feel stuck in a marriage. We feel stuck at a job. We have become empty nesters, and we feel like, okay, what next? You might not want to continue on what you were doing at the job. You want to just reinvent yourself. And so many of us feel like it's too late at a certain age. Once we get to a certain age, it's too late to reinvent ourselves. And I'm here to say that's so far from the truth. So it's never too late, no matter how old you are, to reinvent yourself. Coming out of the difficult situation, at one point I did feel, even before I was married and I was an entrepreneur, I was cleaning, have my own cleaning service now for like 20 years, but I knew that's not what I wanted to continue doing. But in your thoughts, in your stinking thinking, I'm like, okay, what else can I do? Because I'm getting too old. I can't pursue this career. I can't pursue that career. I love doing decorating. I'm an event planner, event decor. So those things was in my head that I wanted to do, but I felt like, oh, you're almost 50, you're 50, how you want to start over? But far from the truth, as I say again, I did, after coming out of my difficult marriage, even before I was preparing myself, before I even was fully out of the marriage, to start reinventing myself, And I end up going to an AB conference and finding out different. And so now I am out here trying to help other women, to let them know. I started in the pandemic, and in my 50s, I started a event decor business. I started a t-shirt online business. I started a balloon business, and I also became a certified life coach under Angela Brand. So I'm just here to tell you, ladies, that it's never, ever too late to reinvent yourself and start over. No matter what age you are. Again, I just want to keep focusing on that, because that is a big issue for women, feeling like they are too old to start over. And I just wanted to let you know that you're never too late. It's never too late to start over. Again, no matter what age you are. And I also, in my training, it helped me develop my 3-step program for women. And that's, to start, is developing, it's called the DIP process. I'm sorry, y'all. It's called the DIP process. So you need to start off to help you develop yourself or reinvent yourself. In my program, my 3-step program called the DIP, it starts off in developing your inner beauty, your inner and outer beauty. Developing your inner and outer beauty, and that's focusing on you, learning who you are, loving on you. As Alicia said, that's very important. Taking out time to do self-care. Also, my second step is investing in yourself. So this was so important to me coming out of this situation, invest in yourself. What people think is it's not that important to go to counseling or hiring a coach. So those things were so important to me. I ended up hiring a coach, and I met Coach Angela. I invested in myself by going to a professional counselor, and those things help tremendously. So a lot of people are ashamed to say they went to counseling, but I'm here to tell you it's nothing to be ashamed about. It's okay to go to a counselor. It's okay to seek help. He definitely was there for me to help me with my emotions and my feelings. Angela was there as a coach to help me with accountability. And so my third step is possessing the power within. So a lot of times we are going out looking for other people approval. We're going out looking for someone else to love us or someone else to help us when we have it right here. We have it all in the inside of us. We don't have to go looking out for, love. You don't have to go looking out for your gift. Your gift is right here within yourself. So you just have to sit down sometimes. And sometimes I realize that's what happened. I had to sit down. God shut me down, kept me still so I can step into my purpose. I have a lot of gifts, but my purpose was reaching out to women to let them know that it's never too late to reinvent yourself. So you have to listen to that little inner thought, as I call it, my little whisper, and just kind of sit still and be quiet, and then you will realize and understand what is it that you're on this earth that you're called to do. So my name is Sonia. I'm the confidence coach. You can reach me for further information on www.soniaspencer.com. Thanks.
Yes. Look, don't go nowhere yet. I want to ask a couple of questions. I want to dive into, especially, we like helping women over 50. By this time, they have given themselves to everybody else. They have raised their kids. They're empty nesters. Some have been divorced, such as yourself, and they battle with that, who am I? So what was the aspect of you helping or identifying who you are as a woman first?
As Alicia said, learning to put me first. I had to start putting me first. I remember in our first interview, you picked up on I was there to help everyone else. And I'm like, but I do this and I do that. And I'm this and I'm that. And you explained to me, yes, you were pouring into everyone else, but who was pouring into you? So it's so important to not be that shero. It's so important for you to know you can't save the world. And I had to learn that. I had to learn I can't save the world. And I had to step back, step down, and step out of everybody else's problems and situation and start putting me first. As Alicia said, hashtag me first.
And that is so important because as women, we're taught to serve everybody else. We're taught to be there for everybody else. We're taught to be available for everybody else because what? We're the woman. Oh, okay, we're the strong Black woman. She can handle it. No, we can't.
Right.
It's too heavy for us to continue to carry. And I thank you so much for your service and helping women and everything that you do, helping them to dip.
Yeah, the dip program. Yeah, when we're normally dancing, y'all, we're normally dipping, dancing, doing the dip.
Right, like dip, baby, dip. So
yes.
I'm so super excited. I love the growth process that you have experienced where you are now from where you were started. We are all still in the process. We are all still in this learning to be a better us, to show up more powerful, and just to be on fire. So if you have not registered for the Her Fire Tour Atlanta, go ahead now to www.herfiretour.com. All the speakers' links are in the description and YouTube. And if you're listening on Clubhouse, you can go and follow them, click their bio. Their links are there. Everything that you want to know and need to know from them are already there on Clubhouse and YouTube. Look, we are holding it down. We are live Clubhouse. We are live YouTube for the very first time. And I'm so super excited. This is the first time, but of many, many, many more that will come throughout the year as we're promoting the tour, as we're traveling, as we're building momentum of the world's #1 platform for female speakers, authors, coaches, ministers, leaders, and educators. Look, are y'all ready? We thank you so much, Sonia Spencer, for that amazing, amazing word of confidence. Yay!
Y'all have a good one.
Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for the next speaker? Are y'all really ready for the next speaker? I don't think y'all ready. Look, we're about to bring New York to the stage. Now, New York, this sister here, and I'm gonna give her time. I'm gonna bring her up to the room. I'm gonna invite her to speak. She can go ahead and turn her cameras on, her mic on, all those amazing things so that she can come and she's ready to bring the fire. The boss herself is on the fire stage. Come on, none other than Monique Ditton from New York. Come on, sis.
Good afternoon, everyone. Listen, sis, look, I'm ready. I'm ready today.
Go ahead and turn your microphone on Clubhouse so you can hear you on Clubhouse as well. Because I need the Clubhouse room to hear you. I need the YouTube room to hear you.
Okay.
Come on, we're gonna stop and do our cute little dance. Her fire, her fire. Yeah, there you go.
Yes. Listen. I came prepared today. I am ready. We had a conversation last night, right? And I came today prepared. Listen, ladies, my name is Monique Denton. I am the founder and CEO of Embrace Your Cake, LLC. And the cake does not stand for your usual cakes, right? I don't bake cakes, even though sometimes they call me the cake lady, but it's all about confidence. It's all about attitude. It's all about kindness and excellence. And I empower women to walk in their cake. I empower women to share their stories. I empower women to step up to the stage to become the boss that they are and learn how to take those things and monetize them. I help women overcome some of the trauma that they've been through by sharing their stories. I help women empower other women. So what I want to do today is really encourage you. And first I have to thank my sister, Miss Angela Brand. The Her Fire Tour is on fire. Okay, it's on fire. I just attended the Virginia event and spoke at the Virginia event. And let me tell you, I was motivated and inspired to take my business to the next level. So I came today prepared. And for those of you that are on Clubhouse and you can't see me, I have on my boxing gloves because it's just that serious. It's just that serious for us to realize to get to your next level, ladies, it's going to be a fight. There's going to be some challenges. You have to be prepared. And when I say prepared, you need to come in with that armor. And that armor might include some boxing gloves because there are some days where there's going to be some challenges and you have to be ready and prepared to fight those challenges. But one of the things that I want to share with you is having the ability to show up as a boss. You see, sometimes we want to be humble and sometimes we want to be modest. Let me explain something to you. If you are going to be humble and modest and you want to be successful in your business, Being humble and modest is not going to get you to that level and to the success that you need to. As women, we are nurturers. We want to take care of everyone. And some of the other speakers that spoke so eloquently, and ladies, I am honored to share this platform with you. Some of the other speakers talked about the ability to put yourself first, right? And to learn how to put yourself first. I want to add to that and talk to you about the ability to show up like the boss that you are. And I want to be clear. So when I say showing up like a boss, I don't mean showing up like the boss of other people. I mean showing up as your best self and believing, truly believing that you are a boss. You can't impact change. You can't empower. You can't help others if you don't believe in yourself and your abilities, and if you don't believe that you have that boss status. So let's break down boss a little bit, right? What are some characteristics of a great boss? So a boss communicates clear vision. A boss connects their vision to their daily tasks. It's not just talk, it's also action. A boss sets clear performance expectations. How are you going to perform in life? How are you going to perform in this world? How are you going to help others? What problems or solutions are you going to solve? A boss is trustworthy, right? Has honesty, is able to motivate, inspire, has self-awareness. And ladies, let me tell you, one of the most important characteristics of being a boss, and especially for us women bosses, is that bosses have high EQ. So when you talk about EQ, EQ is your emotional intelligence. And if you're going to show up in the business world as an entrepreneur, if you're going to show up as a boss, it is very important that we are able to keep our emotions in check when we show up at that table. It is important that we're able to keep those emotions in check so we can have the most impact to the most people to be able to share our products and our services. So when I say I need you to show up like a boss, I need you to really believe that you're a boss. I need you to have confidence like you're a boss. I need you to communicate like you're a boss. I need you to set clear performance expectations in terms of what it is personally that you expect to accomplish and what it is that your business needs to accomplish. What are your business goals? What are some of those strategies that you've developed? And what is the plan that you put together to put these things in place? So in order to become your boss, you have to truly believe it with every single fiber of your being that you are a boss. And when you think about a boss, it's important that you're able to separate who you are with the roles that you play. And I always talk about this because I need you to really understand that there's roles that we all play. And some of them might be mother, daughter, wife, caregiver, doctor, aunt, right? To some of us, we're therapists. To others, to our friends, we're nurses, we're counselors, right? A lot of us are also career women and business women. But what I need you to understand is that those are roles that you play. Those are different layers of who we are. So when you're showing up as a boss, I need you to peel back some of those layers and really think about, you know what, who is Monique? Who am I really? Who is Angela? Who is Tamara? Who is Lisa? In order to get to your boss, you have to understand who you are outside of those roles that you play. And when you're able to separate yourself from those roles, you're able to perform at a higher level and also have higher impact, because you're not performing as the daughter of, you're not performing as the mother of, you're not performing as the wife of, you're not performing as your best friend's therapist. You are performing in your true and highest self. So when you introduce yourself and people say, you know, who are you? I'm just going to give you an example. When people say, Monique, who are you? But when I introduce myself, who am I? I say, I am Monique Denton. I'm caring and loving. I love to inspire and empower women to be the best and live their best lives understanding that they are deserving of everything that this world has to offer. I'm uniquely and wonderfully made. I love to teach. I love to speak. I love to motivate. I love to inspire. You see, when I introduced myself, I didn't say, my name is Monique Denton. I'm the mother of 2. I'm the grandmother of 3. I didn't say, I'm Monique Denton. I'm the best friend of this person. I am a therapist. I am a counselor. I specifically spoke about who I am. So I need you to be clear when you introduce yourself to the world and you show up in your business, that you're clear about who you are and you've made that separation from the roles that you play and who it is that you really are. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, on your way to becoming a boss, what I need you to do is take a look at how you are playing in those roles. What is your behavior in those roles? How are those roles impacting you personally? How are those roles impacting your business? How are those roles impacting your career? And I need you to make a list. So with this list, you need to have 3 columns. And those 3 columns should be stop, start, and continue. And I need you to really take a look at yourself in these roles. List those roles. List the different relationships that you have. List the different things that take place in these roles. What are the things that are working for you, right? We're not talking about what's working for others. I'm talking about what are the things that are working for you, right? Those things you want to make sure you continue. What are the things that aren't working for you? What are the things that might be taking up too much of your time? What are the things that might be having physical or mental impacts on you that aren't working? Those are the things that I need you to put in the stop column, right? So continue those things that are working, stop those things that are not working, and then I need you to have a start column. What are some of the things that you need to start doing in these different roles and relationships so you can have a greater impact? One of those things that you need to start doing might just simply be having the ability to say no, right? Having the ability to say, not today, having the ability to say no, having the ability to say, I can't keep pouring into you because I'm emptying my cup. One of the things that you need to stop doing or you need to start doing might be to simply say no. So that's number 2. I need you to really look at the roles that you play and then define how those roles are impacting you personally, professionally, and also in your business. And we are developing our inner voice so we could show up as our best selves personally, professionally, and in our business. See, these things require transformation, right? And it's not going to happen overnight. But what I want you to know is transformation and moderation. It's one step at a time to be more impactful, to have more success in your business. Another thing that I would like you to do, and this is number 3, and when you're really focusing on your mission, on your vision, and on your purpose, is to take a look at 3 areas in your life. Take a look at your childhood, take a look at your adult life, take a look at where you are currently. Think about things in your past that you'd like to do. And when I say take a look, I also mean visually. Take a look at some pictures. Look at how you looked in those pictures. What were your facial expressions? What were you doing? Think about how you felt. What are some of the things that you really enjoyed doing? What are some of the things that you really like doing? What are the things that you were doing that made you happy in those other areas of your life, in those stages of your life? And those things that you really enjoyed that made you happy, I need you to take a look and see how those things fit into your purpose and fit into your mission, fit into your vision, and into your business. One of my favorite quotes from Pinky Cole, and Pinky Cole is the founder of Slutty Vegan, and she is an amazing entrepreneur. I mean, Slutty Vegan is now a multi-million-dollar company. One of the things that Pinky Cole says is that your idea must match your identity. So when you are in business and you want to be successful, you have to make sure that that idea, that the coaching that you're doing, that the speaking that you're doing, that the book that you're writing, that story that you're sharing, that that idea, in order for it to be successful and have impact, must match your identity and who you are. You see, my identity can be connected with who Angela is. My identity cannot be connected with who Alicia is, with who Tamara is, with who Sonia is. My identity has to be connected with who Monique is. Your idea has to match your identity. The last thing that I want to leave you with, and this is for all business entrepreneurs in any type of space, is that you need to be connected. So a lot of us are part of the Her Fire Tour experience and the Her Fire Tour network. Sis, we don't have to continue to do this alone. You have to find some sisters that are willing to collaborate and network that can help you increase your brand awareness, increase your visibility, and introduce you to others. A lot of times we have been brought up to say, oh no, I don't need this person's help. Oh no, I can do it all by myself. I don't want anyone to think they have to do something for me. What I want to tell you is learn how to connect and how to network, how to be part of a community with women that are like-minded, that are going to support you, that are going to lock arms with you, and that are going to say, let's do this together. Focus, execute, and dominate. When you are on your way to becoming a boss and being successful in your business, focus, execute, and dominate. And the way that you can do this and the way that you can be successful is to continue to link up with like-minded women in a successful community and be able to share, again, your brand awareness, your visibility, and have higher impact. Look, Angela, I want to thank you so much. There's so many things that I wanted to share with the women, but I know that you have a line of speakers coming up. But I just want to say that the Her Fire Tour and experience, this virtual experience has been empowering. I mean, I've been taking my notes. Okay, I always take my notes because not only do I come on to empower, I come on to learn and to be educated. And I always get, when I say useful gems and useful nuggets, I'm just happy to be a part of your network and a part of your platform, sis. Look, there's some big things going on here. And Her Fire Tour, okay. So I said I wasn't going on and on. I always do this. But listen, August 27th, in New York, the live event, Her Fire Tour. Ladies, if you have not purchased your tickets, okay, and I'm gonna say not just New York, but any of the events, this is a room that you need to be in. And the sincerity, okay, the sisterhood, when I tell you that you will not leave one of these experiences without being touched personally, without having some type of strategies, and without having goals to move forward in your business. And I'm just gonna leave it there. I wanna thank you so much. Look, Her Fire Tour is on fire.
Yes, look, the boss always show up and show out. That's just how she do. My sister, my friend, my business associate. Look, I thank you for bringing the word, dropping those gems. It's always amazing to hear you. Amazing. So what I want to do, anybody on Clubhouse have any questions, you want to come up to the stage, you want to ask Monique, anybody on YouTube, go ahead and type your question in the comment section so that you can get your question answered. I can even open up to any speakers that have any questions. Come on, speaker, let's come off of mute, turn your cameras on for a moment, and let's just kind of dialogue of what we've already experienced with all the speakers so far so that we can really begin to develop and talk and chat about everybody's message. So come on off mute, Turn your cameras on. Let's talk, sisters. Look, I'm so super excited.
Thank you.
Thank you too. Hey, so I'm so super excited. We're live YouTube.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're live YouTube and Clubhouse. Alicia, if you can come off camera. Tam, you can come off camera.
Yeah, it says you cannot start your video because the host disabled it.
Yeah, mine said the same thing.
Okay, there you go. Let me see. There we go. There we go. So let's talk about who's heard so far. The speakers, Sonia Spencer talked about the confidence. Alicia had tagged me first. Tamara dropped them nuggets that made my head hurt. I'm just gonna keep it real. She made my head hurt. Like, that's a lot of information to take in at one time. So she always dropped those knowledge things that you did not know even exist, even to consider. Like, who considered your legal name in your family name? I didn't. I mean, but our people perish because of lack of knowledge. So Alicia, let's start with you first, and let's just talk a little bit about what we've experienced so far.
Well, just like you said, the knowledge that Tamara gave, I'm like, I need to make some phone calls because something ain't going right here. So I really appreciate you sharing the information you shared. You really poured into us to give us that information. That was valuable information, and I appreciate it. And as always, boss lady coming in. And let me tell you, from Virginia, when you was telling us to stand like that, everywhere I go, I make sure I stand and pose because I'm a boss.
Yes.
I'm even when I'm in a store, the grocery store, Target, when I go in there and I stand like, what I want. Showing up as a boss and recognizing that. And thank you also, Sonia, for the dip, letting us know that you can always rebuild, refocus, revamp yourself. Because there's a lot of times I had to revamp my business. I had to start over and do some things. Because I started my business off as event planning. And then I was like, well, is it really event planning? Because it came event planning because I was so into wanting to be doing events and wanting to have platforms for other business owners to have events on. Then as I'm at these events, so many people was like, I'm talking to them because they know I'm an advocate for domestic violence. And then that's when they get, they asking me information. So I said, I need to be a life coach. So I became certified as a life coach. And then as I'm talking to these women and I'm realizing there are some deep inner child wounds that need to be healed. So that's when I became a Reiki master to work on the spiritual aspect and learning and assisting everyone with healing these wounds and diving deeper within yourself. Because it's not just you trying to just go out and do it yourself. You cannot, I don't advise anyone to just say, well, I'm gonna just heal on my own. I'm gonna do it by myself. You need some assistance on that journey when it comes to healing. And you cannot progress and move forward to be that boss, to know how to get your credit right, to do that dip, to be in her fire. If you're not being in a space to open to receive so that you can start healing and thriving and having your mess become your message. So yeah, and that's how Memorable Moments became created. And I thank you all, ladies, for sharing your nuggets, sharing your information. I appreciate it. I'm so honored to be on this platform. Thank you again, Angela.
Yes. So look, who wants to go next?
I guess I'll go next. So thank you, ladies. It was definitely a lot of information. I'm gonna have to go on a replay because I missed Tamara. I missed the beginning of it, but
Wait a minute, Coach Lee, can you put your Clubhouse on mute?
I'm not even on the stage no more for you to hear.
is it me? That's what I was telling you, it was echoing.
It's coming up as you, AB.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. But thank you, Monique, Tamara, Angela, Alicia, I always, the me first has stuck with me.
Did she freeze or is it me?
No, she froze. So let's give her a second to come back on. Then she's loving your hashtag me first. So can
Everyone,
hashtag me first.
Yes.
First. So look, can we let's move to Tamara real quick until she able to come back on.
Peace and love again, everyone. I am just so honored just to share the stage with all of you beautiful ladies. AB, thank you so much for the invitation. You know I do anything for you, child.
Welcome.
But when I look at your faces on the screen, I see power in numbers. And so remember when I was talking about that ripple effect? And so when we begin to shift our way of thinking, it causes a shift in us, and that is going to radiate through to our family, immediate or otherwise, and anybody that we come into contact with. Because when we begin to learn certain information, we want to, I don't know about y'all, but I'll be wanting to shout from the rooftop. And I'll be wanting everybody to be on this journey with me, right? Because this is not something that I can keep to myself. I cannot keep this to myself. My biggest fear was always that my son wouldn't have what he needed from me while I was still here. And I used to have these reoccurring dreams. For years, I had these reoccurring dreams and I didn't know what they meant. And in my dream, I was always looking for Javen. I'm like, where is Javen? I would ask everybody in the dream, where is he at? And I could never find him in this dream. I never knew what it meant. And when I, over the years, I would think about it over and over and over. And I realized that it was a fear in me of not giving him what he needed. So he couldn't find his way through life because he didn't have the tools that he needed from his parents in order to make certain types of decisions, and it's like when we teach our children certain things, we hope that they will retain all of it, but in reality, they're only going to keep a small percentage of what it is that we teach them, right? And a lot of it is through how we act, what we do, and what they see, and how they observe us, and how they perceive the world, how they perceive us, and how they perceive those around us. So I'm a huge proponent that education starts in the home, but I can't educate him until I educate myself. And so this is why I've always been like, let me go pay the experts. Let me get into this coaching program. Let me do this, do that, because I had to adjust my own way of thinking, right? So that I can project that onto him so that he's not, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not influenced by, the majority of his influence does not come from outside the home. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I had to be very intentional about the conversations that I have with him. And I have 3 stepchildren as well. And I'm intentional about the conversations that I have with them because they're young adults. And so they're going out into the world doing all of these things. But why do they have to make the same mistakes? Why? I spoke about that springboard. We've been taught, our elders will always say, they would never give us anything. They wouldn't give us anything because they wanted to teach us the lesson of hard work. Why? Why do we have to learn these lessons? Why can't we start from here? I don't want my children starting from the bottom. We did the hard work. We already did the work, right? The same thing that Jesus did for us, he paid it all. So why do we have to continue to pay the same sacrifice that he paid for us? And this is one of the things that's missing with our elders. They forget that, listen, if we want to see any type of change in the world, we cannot always be trying to teach our babies these hard lessons early on because they won't understand it. They won't understand it. They'll look back at it and be like, man, they'll look at it as trauma, depending on how those messages are delivered, right? How do we discipline our children? How we speak to them? And we got to be empowering from the beginning at birth. Now, my son ain't gonna start from the bottom. Our children should not start from the bottom. They need to start from right here and use that as a springboard to elevate and be greater than anything that we could potentially do. I expect the next generation, they're gonna accomplish way more than even I can even fathom. So that's why I'm so just intentional about the messages that I share. But I thank you ladies so much. I learned a lot from you ladies. I'm just still taking it all in. I'm still taking it all in, but every one of you has a message to deliver. And I pray that God will continue to guide your steps and ensure that your message reaches the intended recipient. So I thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Listen, my headache stopped. You know, when I get all this information, it's overwhelming. I mean, but you really open our eyes to a lot of things. So I'm so very grateful for that, for all the wisdom that you have and all the damage you're going to do in this world to help people break free and really leave their legacy. You have not even begun to see all the amazing things that God is going to do through you, through all of you. Look, those who are attached to me, we will win. We are winning. We have won. We are victorious because why? We are girls and we are on fire. So I just need all these fire emojis.
Yes.
If you want to come off mute, hey, we are on fire. Okay. We are on fire, and we're going to break down what that fire means for all those who don't know what the fire means. We say we are girls on fire. So Sonia Spencer, so we have some technical difficulties. So come on and let us know what you've gathered from all the speakers that have went so far.
I don't know what happened, but yes. Hi, ladies, and thanks again. It was so much information, like you said, Angela. I kind of missed out a little bit on Tamara. Am I saying her name right, Tamara? Well, I need to put the glasses
It's
on.
Tamara.
Look,
It's okay. I get that all the time.
The age is 50, but them eyes showing 50. The look might not show 50, but them eyes show 50. Okay, so I'm sorry. Yes, but that was some good gems. I'm gonna definitely go back and listen to the replay. Now, I would kind of, when you were saying your name, because I have been using my name for everything in my business. So when you're saying like the name is like, I'm saying Sonia Spencer's Enterprise. Are you saying like your legal name?
Exactly. The name exactly as it appears on your birth certificate.
Okay. Yeah, I have a mother name. My mother, she cheated us out of middle name. So it's just Sonia Spencer. Okay. So I'll definitely go back and listen to the replay. Monique, yes, I'm a New Yorker with you. So and yes, I love the way you said definitely step up and as being the boss and showing you are the boss, walking like you are the boss, and commanding the room when you walk in. So yes, and Alicia, again, the Me First has definitely stuck to me from the first Her Fire tour we had in Charlotte. Yes, learning to put me first, as I was saying, is growing up I realized it started from young. Everything we go through starts from young. I was that parental child, so I never knew how to put me first. And Angela, just showing me, yes, that I can do it, because having that limited belief, because I didn't go to college, growing up in New York, all you think about is getting a job, making some money. College was first thing off my list. But then as especially when I moved to Charlotte, it started like hindering my limited beliefs, because down in Charlotte everybody was college. So you're thinking, I can't do this. I can't speak. I can't help other people because I don't have the same education. So joining your group showed me, and graduating from your class, that it doesn't matter. You could just tell your story, because everybody has a story. So tell your story, turn your mess, because I was going through some mess when I met her, and turn it into a message. So yes. Yeah. And I'm so glad I came on, because and it's still a process. I'm still going through my process, and I wasn't feeling very confident today. And I text Angela's like, I don't want to come on because I'm not feeling confident today. And she was like, that's for more reason why you should be coming on. And I came on. So, and I'm feeling a lot better. So thank you, ladies.
Yeah, look, that's what it's all about, is making sure. Sometimes when I show up, I don't feel like a girl on fire. Sometimes I feel like going in my bed, putting on my clothes, and sleeping all day. But when purpose does not care how you feel, Purpose does not care what you have on. I show up and the fire draws me and pulls me in even the more. Because sometimes it's all just about opening up your mouth. It's all about being in the right atmosphere. So what? You can get the confidence. You can experience the fire. You can show up like a boss. We are not going to always feel our best. But it's in that moment when God's strength really step in and say, you know what? My hand is still on your life. My anointing still flows through you. I have not forgotten about you, because what you need is the very thing that I'm going to have you to speak to other people today. Remember, I talked about the 5 levels of every speaker go through. The first is going to be for you. For you. You have to buy into what you say first. If we want to talk about dip, come on, let's dip. If I got to dip all through your living room, come on, let's dip. Monique, if you got to say, you know what, I'm showing up like a boss today, I don't feel like it. Hashtag me first. I don't feel like putting me first. I feel like just crawling up under this rock and just giving up. That's when that word come up. Me first. That's when when your integrity is faced. Okay, it's all about the name. Putting some respect on the name. That's what it's all about. It's not about you show up, you already have it together. No, everything is going to come together as you go. And that is one of the myths we have been taught, that we have to have everything all together to be effective. If that was the case, God would have never used anybody. We all need to sit down, close shop, come off these Zooms, shut the websites down, because why? We don't have it all together. I'm a hot mess. I am a hot, beautiful mess, but I have a message. And God is going to use me, and he's going to use you in your mess. So no, you don't have to be perfect to do this thing. You just have to be a willing vessel to learn something new that can transform your life, and in return, transform the lives of others, and get paid while doing it.
Yes.
And get paid while doing it. Making a living while doing it. Making a living by being imperfect, but we serve a perfect God. That's what it means when I say we are girls on fire. I've been through some things. That don't mean that I'm really qualified to be here. I'm qualified by the Holy Ghost. If you look at me on paper, you're going to say, kid out of wedlock. You done had 2 abortions. You barely graduated through high school. Failed out of college. You've been divorced. You barely can read or write. You barely can spell. But you have a purpose. But the anointing flows through you. The power of God rests on your life. You may not be educated, but you have wisdom. You have strategy. You have divine revelation. And you're confident. And you know how to make people feel good. Oh, you articulate. But I also see here that you've been behind on your bills. I also see some inaccurate things on your credit report. I also see that you did lie. But I also see that the truth lives in you. It doesn't matter. It's about being a willing vessel, and God will perfect you as you go. When we stop being imperfect, that means God is ready to take us on. So y'all ready for the next speaker? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Hey, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Girls on fire! Woo, woo! So look, Kiana, are you on? I don't see you on Clubhouse, Kiana. You went back out of Clubhouse. So look, are we having a good time for the Her Fire online experience? It's still not being in the room. Like being in the room is just so simply amazing. So look, we're gonna go off mute and we're gonna come and I'm gonna bring on our next amazing speaker.
All right, I'm turning the volume down because I'm back on Clubhouse. It was an echo.
Yeah, I was telling Angela be echoing.
Because I am on Clubhouse as well. So I wanted to make sure that the audio was on because everybody wasn't on Clubhouse as well.
Yes.
Let me see. Are you on Clubhouse? Okay, here we go.
I am there.
So we are bringing Kenyatta Jones to the stage of the Her Fire Tour experience. Woo-hoo! Kenyatta, the fire stage is yours. You can come off mute, come on up to the stage in Clubhouse.
All right. I am there on the stage in Clubhouse. So I am Kenyatta Jones. I am an author, I am a speaker, and I am a certified master life coach focusing on life purpose and mindset strategy. And I come down to, I had to really work on some things in order to get my niche, as they call it, of what I wanted to do. And I realized within my life, I've been helping several people find their purpose. But in order for me to help them find their purpose, I had to find my purpose. I had to let go of a whole lot of stuff. I had to let go of my mess in order to help people sort out their mess. So when I come to the Her Fire stage, I want to empower people to just discover their voice inside and let go and give themselves permission to just let go of that mess and breathe again. It's hard. I am a divorced mother of 4, grandmother of 1. And when I got divorced, well, when I left, before I even, the divorce was finalized, when I left, I had to find out who the heck I was because I didn't know who I was. I was 4 other little people's mother and I was a wife, and now I'm no longer a wife. And who the heck are you? I had to figure that out and find my confidence because I was told so much in my life of what I couldn't do that I started to believe all of that. And now I have come into this person that anything that I set my mind to, I do it. I make sure I get it done. Being on this stage and working with Angela has been a blessing because it's given me more of the voice that I needed. Yesterday, when I was on the live, Dr. Raniqua, I'm not sure what her last name was, but with the lady that was speaking yesterday that she's going to be on the tour, I was like, why the heck does Angela have me on here? Because if she's going to be there speaking, I can't do this. I can't do this. But I had to go back and remember who I am and whose I am to know that you can do this. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. So on Her Fire, I want women to find that little voice that is in them that they've been pushing down, deep down, and ignoring all of the things that they're supposed to do because they're telling people that they can't do it because people have told them that they couldn't do it, but it's in them. So that is my goal with women and us just allowing ourselves to breathe again. I realized that I was holding my breath for so long that I didn't even know that I was dying on the inside. And I was truly dying on the inside because of everything that has happened in my life, struggling with abandonment issues and infidelity and marriage. And am I good enough? Because people telling me what I can't do, or you're not smart enough to do this. It was a lie. And so just encouraging women to let go of that mess and be who you are supposed to be and walk into your ordained purpose, because everyone is born with a purpose. And if you live on purpose, your life is going to be great. It might not be what you want it to be when you want it to be, but it'll get there. As long as you live and walk in your purpose, not in somebody else's purpose, what they told you to do, but in your purpose. And breathe again. Let it go and breathe again. So that is what I am bringing to the fire stage. Permission for you to let go and breathe again.
Listen. Listen, I don't know who need permission to let go and breathe again. Let it out.
I know I needed it.
Because sometimes we have so much stuff piled on us and piled on us and piled, and we feel like we can't breathe. We feel like we're suffocating. We feel like this is about to take me out. We feel like, okay, this is going to really take me out. I'm really going to die this time. I'm really going to faint this time. I'm really going to lose my mind this time. I'm really going to have a nervous breakdown. And sometimes we just have to say, you know what? I can breathe. And with this, in this next breath, I'm going to be able to find the voice that was so silent within me. And then when I let it out, it's going to be a roar that is so loud that it's going to shake the foundations of the earth. It's going to be a sound that's so loud that when you enter the room, it's going to shake the very elements that's in that room. It's going to be so loud that you're going to cause change to fall off people's lives. It's going to be so loud that's going to cause the dead to rise again. So find yourself in situations where you feel like, okay, this is about to take me out. Nope, it's about to take me out. I can't do it anymore. I'm at my breaking point. That's when you just stop and breathe. Find your voice. Know that you are called for such a time as this. Knowing that it is your turn. Knowing that God can use you to speak volumes and discover your purpose in the midst of everything. I thank you so much for the words of encouragement, Kiana Jones. I thank you so much. She is another speaker of the Her Fire Tour coming in Atlanta, July 9th. So if you have not registered, go ahead to www.herfiretour.com. This is a platform for, if you say, you know what, I'm not sure if I'm called to speak, but I really want to see what it's going to be about. The platform is for you. If you are new and you may say, you know what, I can use some training, some polishing up, the platform for you. I have a class that's starting up July 9th to become a certified fire speaker, where you will learn everything you need to know to hop on any stage and just kill it, drop the mic, and leave the audience in awe. So look, Kiana Jones, you have anything, anybody have anything they want to say to Kiana about her message? Come on to the stage now. Monique didn't. Let's just chime in on her message.
Okay, I think.
There you go.
Here we go. Okay. So I'm in the background here and I'm just listening, but I want to say a couple of things. Is one, to the sisters that are a part of the Her Fire Tour, to the speakers, to all of the presenters, doesn't this feel good? I mean, yes, I just have to, like, doesn't this feel good? You know, and we do this because we want to empower other people, not realizing that every time we show up, whether we feel like it or not, and like Sonia said sometimes aren't good days always good days for us. Sometimes we wake up and we don't feel like being the boss, and we don't have that confidence, and we don't feel like a girl on fire. But see what happens when you show up. This is just feel good. And just listening to all of the speakers and all of the presenters, I was excited before. I'm even more excited. Okay. And Kenyatta, thank you for your transparency and thank you for sharing. And this is what it's about, because when you heard the other person on the call, the doctor, and you said to yourself, what? Wait a minute. What am I doing here?
I know.
You know, right? What am I doing here? And we tend to do that, and that's natural. But then you had to check yourself and say, hey, why not me?
I belong here.
I belong here. Why not me? Each and every one of us on this call and on the stage and on the Her Fire Tour, we belong here. We belong here. And it is that negative self-talk that we constantly have to fight. A lot of times it's not outside forces or other people, it's us, right? Thinking things about ourselves that other people aren't even thinking about. And then developing those different attitudes that stagnate us from moving forward. But guess what? You're here. You're supposed to be here. You're transparent. You shared. I cannot wait to hear your presentation. And thank you. And it's not easy. And we had Sonia that was on the line. I too recently am divorced. Okay. It's not easy. It is not easy. And then we got to show up.
Yeah.
You know, we have to show up. And these things that we go through, we cannot let them take us out. I refuse. This year, and Angela knows, has been a difficult year for me. I lost my mom in February. February 15th, I lost my mom. In March, I had my first conference scheduled in Charlotte, North Carolina. In April, my second conference, and my sister showed up. And when I say the importance of sisterhood and the importance of networking, this is why it's important, because we show up for each other. We support each other. And not only are we empowering other women, when we show up on these calls and on these stages, we're empowering ourselves. So I just want to thank you. And I want to say look, Les Brown says you're in the right place at the right time.
And I so believe that.
Yes, you are in the right place at the right time. And I just want to say, the more I listen to my sister, and yes, I say my sisters. And when I say that endearingly, because I am one of two children. It's myself and my brother. I'm the oldest child. So I can relate to, I was one of those latchkey children. Well, you had to do everything and you were responsible for everything. And I was responsible for my little brother. And therefore, I grew up having responsibility for everybody. Everybody was my responsibility, not understanding and learning how to channel my inner voice and put myself first. But when I am in environments like this, and at least when you talk about me first, it took some time. And let's be honest, I'm not sure of the different generations in the age, but it took some time. It wasn't until my 40s, okay, that I was able to say and believe it, me first. It took me some time to be able to say me first. So now I'm at a point, and every time you bring that message and I hear that hashtag, I thank you for that. And the love languages, who knew? And when I was in Virginia and I was like, okay, what's the one? And you did the presentation and I chose mine. I was like, oh, I think this one is good. It's nothing. And then you wrote down, well, if you feel this way, this is why I was like, oh. So I still got some work to do. I'm a boss, but I still got some work to do. And that's what it's about. So every time I'm in these environments and I'm with my sisters, it's just feel good. So not only are we encouraging and we're teaching and we are bringing the fire, we're also helping to continue to be motivated ourselves and to be inspired. And not only that, look, y'all, these sisters out here looking good. Angela, listen, y'all already know, showed up. All my sisters, listen, look, so we are representing the fire. We just representing the fire, just the way we showed up today. Everybody showed up today representing who we are and representing sisterhood and being connected and truly and sincerely supporting one another. And that's what it's about. In addition to the accountability, in addition to being able to pour into others and build our businesses and expand our networks, we are here truly connected to each other. And Tamara, when you talked about poverty mindset, I was in the background dropping mics, okay? This is what I was in the background. When you talked about why do our children, why is it that we have to teach them how to struggle, right? Yeah. Well, listen, no, I'm gonna keep it a buck, okay? And I'm from New York, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, I might throw some slang in here on and off, but listen, I'm gonna keep it all. My grandchildren, my 2 grandsons will not struggle. I don't care what our ancestors, previous generations, you have to learn to do this. And you know what? And you're right, Sonia. A lot of times when we grew up, it was in certain households. And I know this is how my mother was raised, and she had a master's and she was a CEO of an agency, but it is get a job and make a living, right? A lot of us were encouraged to get a job and make a living. My grandchildren will not be encouraged. My children weren't encouraged to get a job and make a living. They were encouraged to continue their education. And I told them, I got you for the bachelor's. I have you for 4 years. What you do after that, look, is on you. But we no longer have to have that mindset and that thinking. It's okay. In certain communities, it's okay. We have to be able to accept that we do not have to be poor. We do not have to live in poverty. Guess what? We can normalize luxury, okay, in certain communities.
Yes.
Listen, don't.
Come on, live farmer's life. Come on now, this boost.
We can normalize luxury. I don't want to feel uncomfortable in front of my other sisters or someone else if I want a pair of red bottoms. Okay, we can normalize luxury. We don't have to drive around in hoopties. Okay, and it's okay, and we don't have to be ashamed about it and how we show up in front of other people. And it is what it is, and these are mindsets that we have to get past. Why should we feel uncomfortable for showing up like a boss for ourselves and for doing things that make us happy, for doing things that we want, for fear of what other people might think about us? It's not that type of party anymore. Listen, I got the boxing gloves in the background. This is not a game, okay? This is not a game. And for us to be successful as a people and to continue to build our communities and leave our legacies, those mindsets that we have to let it go. And we have to move forward. We have to drop those generational behaviors. Right. So my oldest daughter is a clinical therapist. And when she first talked about it, I got a little offended. I was like, so what's she trying to say? You know, you ever hear your grown children, they want to tell you something about yourself, what you did and what you didn't do. And you've had some of those same conversations with your parents, but when they tell us, you're like, but I had to check myself and say, you know what, she's right. There are generational behaviors that pass down that we have to drop. And not only, sometimes we don't even know that we're acting in these ways, but when it's brought to our attention, we need to realize these are things that we need to move forward. So thank you. I'm just, I'm pumped. I cannot wait to the next live event. I am pumped. We could do this all day, and this is what we do, right? Women in this space, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs, this is what we do. This is what keeps the juices flowing. And being part of Her Fire Tour, for those that are in the audience, ladies, do you see what's going on here? If you haven't gone to herfiretour.com to sign up to either be in the audience or to be a speaker, you need to go to herfiretour.com right now. Now is the time. There's no waiting. It's not tomorrow. Okay. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Invest in your family and invest in your legacy.
Look, go to the website, www.herfiretour.com. If you are a speaker, get your bestie a ticket, get your mother a ticket, get your sister a ticket. Be in Atlanta July 9th 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Her Fire Tour. It is going, I'm going to sound ghetto. It's going down.
Down.
I'm going to say it cute. It's going down.
It's going down.
Going down. The fire is being the
Yes.
We have amazing speakers, preachers that's coming, bringing forth a word of God. We just need you to show up. We need you. I don't want you, and Dr. Martha was talking about this yesterday. Don't show up because you need something. Show up because you love yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
He says, show up because you love yourself. I'm going to say this. Get your sister because you love her. Get your mother a ticket because you love her. Get your daughter a ticket because you love her. Men, if you are watching, get your wife a ticket because you love her. You don't even have to be there. Get somebody that you know in Atlanta. Get them a ticket and be there. Let me tell you, and I say this a lot. Don't wait until end of December and you say, I should have went to the Her Fire Tour. I should have invested in myself and believed in myself a lot more to get there. Like I really should have done it. We can't live and base our life on shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We have to live our life based on what we want and what we decide to do. I was a part of this class last year, and we break down what we want versus what we decide. We can say, I want to be a better speaker. We can say, I want to get into the industry. I want to transform lives. I want to go to the next level. I want to have confidence. I want to have integrity with my name. But what do you decide to do with what you want to do? One and the other is going to be more prevalent in your life. I wait, but whether I decide to make the initial action, eating, exercise is something totally different. You may say, I want to be in a relationship, but will you decide to heal and move past the past failures in relationships? I want to be successful, but are you willing to do what is required to obtain this level of success? So you want to be an advocate of women, but will you decide to go to www.herfiretour.com and register for Atlanta, Dallas, Baltimore, New York, Charlotte, Raleigh, Myrtle Beach, Miami? Did I miss one, y'all? I think I got it all, but everything is in.
Is it still in Detroit?
Yeah, I did Detroit. Yeah, Detroit. Don't tell me don't tell me to start naming the dates. It's too much right now. It's all in the description box if you're on YouTube. But everything is on the website at www.herfiretour.com. Sonia, anything you want to say about Kiana's message?
Thanks for being transparent, because that's what it's about. I had to be transparent today on how you was feeling, and we truly, I understand identifying as not identifying yourself, but being here for everybody, being the mother, the wife, recognizing like when I came out of my marriage, it was like I had to find myself again. Like when you said you had to find yourself, but I had to find myself again. And just truly like understanding each other. I'm glad I came on a call because I do feel alone and I have to realize I have my circle and join more in with my coaching sisters because everybody's not on the same page. And so you really don't have that communication like you had before with your friends or your old circle. But I truly understand what you were saying. I'm an empty nester. I left before. I don't have kids in my life, but it seems like, Angela, you could attest to this. Every time I get on a call, my dog, she wants attention. So that's why I was away for a minute. I had to go take her to the restroom, y'all, but I'm sorry. But yeah, that's so funny. I'm like, no, I'm an empty nester, but I forgot I got this dog over here that requires attention. But yes, but yeah, just realizing that, yeah, we all have some similarity of stories, the same, and we all in this together.
Yeah. And for me, to hear you say you had to find yourself again, that's a lot. Because for me, I feel like I never knew myself until now. Because I come from that religious background that I had to put on the persona of who I was. I couldn't go this way because, you can't do this because the church folk. You can't go this way because the church folk. So it wasn't until I let go of all of that mess, let go of tradition and everything that was embedded in me, and had to relearn some things and be like, you know what, this works for me. And I even went back and retaught my children some things that I had taught them. It's like, hey, throw that out. You don't need that. That's not how we doing. That's how I was taught, but I'm not going to teach you guys like that. And I know I already did, but this way is how I need you guys to do it from here on out. I've apologized to my children for the mother that I feel like I was to them. They look at me like I'm crazy. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, but I do.
Right.
So I apologize to you for being this type of mother to you. And we have open conversation. When something appears in their head, I'm like, let's talk about it. I'm sorry. And even to the point to my ex-husband, we're good friends now. I've apologized to him for a lot of stuff. And I see my daughter with her son's father, and she's done something that I saw. And I was like, she learned that from me. Don't do that. And I reprimand her on it and teach her the right way to do it. And then I apologize to her dad. And he's like, what are you apologizing for? I'm like, I just saw she did this. And I know she got that from me because my mouth is slit and I know what happened. So I'm still learning myself, but the basis of who I am, I got it. And right now I live my life and I don't care what anybody says. And they'll my family and my circle of friends will tell you, don't ask her because you might not want to hear her opinion. Because it's not what you think it's going to be. I'm the last resort that they come to.
No sugarcoating.
No sugarcoating, because I don't have time to coat things, because I feel like when you bring it to me, your life is now dependent on what's going on. So let's fix it. Yes. Because I don't want you to be like me and be dead inside, because I felt like I was dead inside. I wasn't breathing. So once I started to breathe, I was in my 40s. So now in my 40s, I'm breathing, I'm living life, and it feels good. The air is fresher.
Yes.
So yeah.
You had a mouthful right there. So many of us, we go through so many different things in our life, and we feel like we have not started living. I've just started living my best life.
Yeah.
We just start living our best life. Even the word says your latter days will be greater than your former days.
Yes, it does.
I know and who I am, now I can really begin to live life on my terms, in my way, how I want, by what I decide. Look, Tamara, you have anything you want to say about Kiata's message?
Yes. What I realize is that we are women, are the binding agent. We're the glue, right? That keeps everything together. We are the ones that the family looks to. Who is the first person that they call? They calling on mama, auntie, grandma, right? They calling on us. And so when we are not healed, those around us are not going to be healed. When we can't be ourselves, those around us are also going to put on the facade because they're replicating what they see, right? The women in the family is what binds the family together. All of the energy for the family flows through us, through our nurturing, through our cooking, through our conversations, right? And so this Her Fire Tour is so vitally important to bring the women out, because the healing process starts when you begin to verbalize those things that you ran away from and that you hid from for so long. Verbalization it begins the healing process. And I say that I can speak to that personally, because there was a story that I hid behind for years that I didn't talk about, right? But when I was able to write it in the book, in the chapter, that's when I started my healing process. And but prior to that, I did not realize how that story was showing up in my marriage and how it was showing up with my relationship with my son. So it helps you to put a microscope to yourself. So even if you are not necessarily an aspiring speaker, but you've been through some things, sign up for the Her Fire Tour, because when you begin to speak about your trauma, you begin to heal from your trauma. And we have to deal with our trauma, y'all. We have to deal with our trauma, right? And we cannot do this alone. We are all pulling energy from one another on this stage right now. And it's a vibrant, positive energy. And that's what we need to heal. We can't do it in that dark place by ourselves. We will not get our healing there. We just will not get it there, right? When you have women that are willing to pour into you, that are willing to listen to you and to hear you, it gives you that juice, that energy that you need to keep going, right? So the Her Fire Tour is serving more purpose than one. Yes, if you're looking to perfect your message and become an aspiring speaker and reach a broader audience, definitely sign up for the Her Fire Tour. But if you are just looking to heal, or you want someone else to hear your pain, there is someone that's going to be able to connect you, because we all have similar stories. We all have similar stories. If you listen to someone speak on the stage that has a similar story to yours, it's going to empower you to want to speak up. It's going to empower you to want to do better. It's going to empower you to be a better mother, a grandmother, an auntie, whatever the situation is. It's going to help you build, it's going to build yourself up. It's going to help you to be better. Y'all, I need to get on this tour, get your ticket. I'm telling you, women, we some powerful beings, especially the Black woman. I'm just going to say that, right? Because the first thing that somebody says to you when somebody's out there acting out in public, your mama taught you better. Everything goes back to the woman. Everything goes back to the woman. Even with the boys, it goes back to the women. Right? And so when we're better, the ones around us are going to be better. That's all I wanted to say.
Wait, well, you said a whole lot, boo. Okay. Look, anybody else want to chime in on Kiata's message before we bring the next speaker up to the stage? Y'all, are y'all loving this? Are y'all loving this on Clubhouse? Are y'all loving this on YouTube? Like, y'all dropping some nuggets. So go ahead, take your time and share the link, text it, inbox it, post it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, however. Women need to be in the room. We only have a couple of more speakers that's about to hit the stage. We're going to be done for the day until when? July 9th in Atlanta. Go to www.herfiretour.com so that you can be in the room. What we have: meditation, prayer, empowering words, preachers, sisterhood, collaboration, network. There are already women that have been collaborating just from the 2 cities so far. Monique didn't. She is our premier sponsor for the Her Fire Tour. She's still looking for 50 phenomenal women to be a part of her book project. So if you're looking to become an international best-selling author, connect with a sisterhood, a tribe, a network, all her information is in the description in YouTube. She's also will be logging into Clubhouse to get her links, Sister Inspiring Sisters or embraceyourcake.com. Follow her, Monique Ditton, on all forms of social media. Tamara Bush, she will also be a featured speaker of the Her Fire Tour. Her category is Tap Into Those Riches. Her link is down in the description box as well, tamarabush.com. Kenyatta Jones, featured speaker of the Her Fire Tour, Atlanta. But we're going to see if we can add some more cities for her so she can really show up now because she know who she is. Show up, sis.
I actually thought about that the other night. I was talking to my cousin. I was like, I'm only doing the Atlanta one. I need to look at that list. I might want to do a couple of other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's already working in the works for me.
This is part of my vision. Let's just say you do multiple cities and you apply everything you learn, especially if you're part of the Her Fire mastermind group. You apply everything you learn. You keep perfecting your message. You're adding to. You're perfecting your system. Imagine where you can be by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Especially people see you building momentum because sometimes they need to see what you do versus you tell them what you do.
Right.
And then when they see what you do, now they hop on board and say, hey, can you come speak at my event? I didn't know you spoke that good. I know you told me what you do, but I didn't know you were that powerful.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that people have told me. So I know these are things that some people would tell you as well. Sometimes you have to show up and show up.
Yes.
So
I'm showing up. I'm here. I'm on the bus.
Come on, I need you to buckle your seat. I need you to drive. I need you to come on and connect to be a part. Because women need what you have.
Yes.
And it may not be in your circle.
Yes.
Tony Spencer, another featured speaker of the Her Fire Tour. Women need what you have. And sometimes we go through stuff, it's really for God to mature us and perfect us so that we can really show up and show out.
I didn't hear that. Can you back that up? I didn't hear what you said.
I gotta think about what I just say, y'all.
In the beginning. What you said, Sonia Spencer, what?
That
women have what you need. And
Oh.
we have to go through certain things so God can perfect in us so we can show up and show out. Like some of my best messages, literally I've been through hell. So I had to literally live out that message. What? To produce the anointing needed to deliver the message. We say we want to be this amazing and powerful speaker, but what do we have to go through to produce that level of power and anointing for God to really operate through us? Then you can step on the space. I own this. Why? Because you went through the necessary requirements to say, now you're ready to deliver this to the masses. Your message has perfected you. Now you're really ready to give it with the full power in which God intended it and ordained you to give it. Last year, when I first started this tour in 2018 as the Queendom Takeover Tour, I could have never done 12 cities. Why? Because I wasn't the woman yet. I didn't have the faith yet. I had a rocky foundation. I wasn't solid mentally or emotionally yet. So God had to give it to me when I was in a place to really receive it, to execute the vision. So if you're listening, you're wondering why you're going through what you're going through, because God is trying to mature you. He's trying to perfect you. He's trying to teach you some things that you need to learn to teach other people so that you can see the full manifestation of the vision that he's given you. And growing does hurt. Healing does hurt.
Oh, yes, it does.
It does hurt. Coming out of that comfort zone, it hurts, but it only hurts if you're not surrendered. It's not my time. It's not my time to speak. It's not my time to speak. Anybody have anything else to say from Kenyatta's message? All right. So Shantae, are you ready to come to the fire stage with your message?
I am ready. How are y'all doing?
Ready. Wait, Shantae Humans, come on and take the stage. Are you on Clubhouse? Turn your audio on Clubhouse so the Clubhouse people can hear you, or we can just continue to use my audio. The stage is yours, Shantae.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
How's everyone doing? I met AB during, I guess I could say, a transition, where I was still trying to figure out whether or not I really wanted to speak.
You on mute, sweetheart. You on mute, Shantae.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I met AB during a time of transition. I was still conflicted about whether or not I wanted to speak. I knew that I had a message, but I did not know how I was going to deliver it. I signed up to participate in the Her Fire Tour. And after speaking with AB, I joined, and I've been to Charlotte and I've been to Richmond. And it has opened my eyes, gave me a clear understanding of what it takes to bring your vision into fruition. Most times we are afraid, like myself, and I was holding me back because I just was unsure. I didn't want to take a risk because I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. But I now know that and understand that I didn't have faith because I wasn't willing to take the risk without knowing what was going to come at the end. And that's what faith is all about. But I also learned over the years that communication is everything. I am one of the impact speakers during the Her Fire Tour. And I know that a lot of people struggle with communications because they don't understand the dynamics, and they don't understand that communications has 3 parts: a sender, a receiver, and feedback. And people don't listen for understanding. People only listen for what they want to hear so that they can fuse off that instead of listening to the whole message and asking the appropriate questions to get the correct understanding. As a woman, we go through so many things because everything is on us. So we don't want to take the time to listen for understanding because we just want everything to come right then. Sometimes we lack patience. So we don't always get the right message or provide the right feedback when someone is talking to us because we haven't listened completely for understanding. And I struggled with that for a long time. I didn't have patience. I wanted everything right then, hurry up and wait. And I didn't understand why I kept going in circles. But when you go in circles, that's God showing you that it's time to change, because when you're in a circle, there's no exit. The only way to get out is to do something different. And I didn't see that until God had to break me down. Everything in my life was a mess. I was looking for a relationship and I didn't know why I didn't have one, but it was all me because I didn't know how to communicate it, what I wanted, what I needed, and I didn't know how to be anything to anybody. I didn't know how to be a friend to anybody. I didn't know how to be a friend to myself. I didn't know how to love myself, and I had to revisit all those things. And it was hard because I just thought I had it all together. I didn't think I needed any help from anybody. Asking people for help was like a weak point for me. I just thought that
I'll figure it out. But I now know that if you don't have a circle of people that you can count on, then you're really not living, because in this world, you can't live by yourself and you can't make it by yourself. You have to communicate what you need and what you want so that people understand who you are. Otherwise, you're settling for what they're going to give you. And I had to go through that. So for a long time, I didn't have any type of relationships. I had friendships for over 20 years that I thought, oh, these are my sisters, these are my best friends. I was too blind to see that it was more about what they could get, more about what I could do for them. And they were secretly hating on me on the low. And God had to pull me out of that. And it wasn't until he pulled me out that I saw clearly that it was them and not me, because I was trying to give them my all, but they weren't giving me the same. And a lot of times that's what we do in relationships. We are not communicating exactly what we need or what we want. And we just allow people to do whatever they want to do to us because they think it's okay. But when I went through the transition, it was like God opened my eyes to see that you need to be around people who have like minds, because otherwise you're going to keep interacting with people who just want to use you for what you have or what you have to offer. And you're not going to grow like that. So being on the Her Fire stage has been a phenomenal thing for me because I'm growing and I'm learning, and I'm under the leadership of AB, who is going to push me and push me and push me so that I can learn everything that I need to learn. And of course, I'm loving networking with all the different women that I've met during the time going to the tours in the different cities. It's definitely been a blessing. You have a question, AB?
Oh no, I thought you were finished.
Okay.
Go
Yes,
ahead.
I'm done.
Okay. Awesome, 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 awesome. Yes, I love it, love it, love it. I always welcome my newbies to the fire stage. There's a reason why I created for women such as yourself, Shantae, who say, you know what, I know I have something, but I'm not sure what it is, but I need somebody that can help me pull it out. This platform is for you. Anybody want to chime in on Shantae's message? Amazing, amazing story. Amazing story.
Yes, I would like to say learning to, when you were saying about as far as listening, you were listening, but you wasn't understanding. Comprehending is a big part of conversations that most people don't understand. And once you learn that, it opened things up for you. That is great. And I always use the terminology when you say push, well, the saying, when you say that being on the stage with AB, she pushes you, she does. And my grandmama always said, push, pray until something happens. And that is what is being done. Angela is pushing all of us to be our best selves. And for you to identify that is a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Sonia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I totally get you about the platform and understand what you were saying. I wanted to touch bases on I think I said it a few minutes ago about your circle and your circle of friends, and understanding that you have different people in your life for different reasons. And I realized like this part of my life, I have to definitely learn to gravitate to my sisterhood and coaching, because everyone doesn't understand and doesn't get it. And everyone is not ready to go where we are going. So
That's so
that part,
true.
yeah.
I have always been the ambitious one. You know, I get an idea, I'm gone. I don't stop and get instructions. I don't stop to think about it sometimes until I'm in it. Like, oh my God, what did I just do? So everybody's not going to understand that.
Mhm.
The lane that we are in, we're coaching, we're speaking, we're writing. And when you come from a background and all they know is work, all they know is go get a job, all they know is what they know, they're not going to understand it. You need to be around people that, no, I'm not going to say need. If you want to go far in this, then it is required to be around people that have longevity in it. There's a lot of fly by nights, but you need women that have longevity in this thing, that have their mind made up that this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I offer until the end of my life. I
So
have
true.
like real longevity in this thing. I'm not doing anything else. Period. Anybody else want to chime in? Sonia, was you finished?
I just want to chime on what you said. That's exactly right. I know I'm going through challenging situations right now, and I know I'm going through my process, and it hurts. It hurts when you're going through your process. But when you're saying, like, you hear people say, "Go get a job. You need to go get a job. Then you need to go get a job. You need to go to get a job." I'm like, I don't want to hear that. So I find myself stepping back, because I know what I need to do. I know what I want to do. And I want to put my all into my business, because I was just doing that. I went I need a job. I go work for a company, and then here it is. I put myself to the side because I'm worrying about and not having the faith it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Because guess what? I did all of that for about a few months, and guess what? It didn't work out. You know, because people could see where you're going to your strength. And for some reason, I sat there and put my all into her company. And guess what? She didn't have a problem letting me go when she felt like it. So that is another thing. Like, you have to realize and just chase your dream and what you want to do, your company and your business, and learning not to worry about what everyone else is saying about going to get a job, or looking at us like we're crazy because we're trying to do something. Like you said, Angela, longevity. I'm not thinking about working for somebody else who don't appreciate you. And that's the process of when I'm going through this week. It kind of, what was the word? It trickled back up my emotions, because I feel rejected again. Like, I'm sitting here doing all of this, but it's not enough. What I'm doing for this company was not enough. So yeah, so I kind of get that when people want to say, go get a job, or you have friends that secretly, like you said, underhanded, hating, or, but because you have that discernment, what people are feeling, who's genuinely there for you, and who's sitting there secretly underhanding, okay, that you're going through what you're going through. So, and again, gravitate to your sisters in your coaching world.
Well, one thing about it, AB is a true faith walker. And the people that she's connected to are faith walkers as well. And being able to connect with her, knowing that her faith is real, knowing that once she has her mind made up, it's already done. And I have to go through the process myself of knowing that when I have my mind made up, it's already done. And I've lost that in me, because I used to have that. If I said I was going to do something, it's already done. Nobody could talk me out of it. Now I have allowed people to put in my mind, oh, don't do that. That's irrational. You know, you got to do this, you got to do that. But I have to get myself back on track to remember that I got faith. Like if I want to do something, God's going to always make a way. He's going to provide. Because he knows that what storms you're going through, he knows how you feel when you're going through it. And he knows that you don't want to go through it. He doesn't want to see you going through it. And it's different when you put yourself in predicaments, but when you're trying to do the right thing and maintain your livelihood and you're still going through storms, right, God will bring you out and he's going to hold your hand and make sure you have everything you need, but you just got to trust in him. And I've lost that along the way because I just got overly consumed in having a job. And the people on the job don't have the same energy as me. So when people don't have the same energy as you, they drain you.
Yes.
And that's what happened. Like, they just drain me. Like, they don't want to see you doing anything else. They think it's supposed to be your life, and it's not my life.
That's it. That's it.
Hey, so I was just going to speak about when you said that people listen, they don't listen for understanding. Yeah, I used to do that all the time. And you know, I put it in the chat. I said, I remember I'm already preparing myself to say something before they're even finished talking. That's how I knew that I wasn't listening for understanding. Right. And I had to change that, especially when you have children, because your children and the people around you need to feel as though they're being heard. Because when we leave the house and go out into the world is not listening to us. We can tell by what's going on in the world that they don't listen to us. So in our household, making sure that the people around us and the children are being heard, it helps to shape them and how they view the world. And so it does instill confidence when people know that they're being heard, right? Because it's going to help them to want to spread their message, you know, whatever their message is. So it all starts within us. But I was always guilty of that. And so when I moved to the South and I would deal with Southerners, because I'm from Buffalo, New York, and I ain't from the city, but I'm from Buffalo. And you know, I tend to speak fast, and I have to intentionally slow down my speaking, because I don't want to feel as though, or I don't want people to feel as though I'm talking at them or trying to talk over their head. But when I would get into different conversations with people in North Carolina, it's like they would be offended in the conversation because, number one, I wasn't listening for understanding, and then I was what they consider a fast talker, right? And they don't like that. they you know, people don't like when they're talking to somebody and the person trying to make you feel like they know more than you, or they smarter than you. That also comes with listening for understanding. And so when I would have a pause after the person is finished speaking, it's like, okay, then they felt as though they were being heard, and then it kept me from over talking people. I used to do that all the time. And I had to check myself. Like, sometimes you just got to check yourself and be like, dang. And then next thing you know, they're trying to overtalk you, and you know, and that's not what you want. You want to be able to have meaningful conversations. And so now that I have a 13-year-old about to be 14, even before he became a teenager, he would sometimes say to me, "Mom, you're not listening." And you know, when he would say that to me, initially, it sounds like a form of disrespect, but it's not. It's not. He has a voice. He needs to be heard just like everybody else. And so I had to change even the way that I dealt with him, because back then with our parents, certain things you couldn't even say. There was no way that I could tell my mama, my mother and father that they weren't listening to me. Up against the wall, right? You just could not say certain things. So my parenting has changed from what I experienced growing up as a child in terms of dealing with elders, right? And I had to soften my parenting skills for him to make sure that he was being heard. So that was a very important point that you made when you said people listen, they don't listen for understanding. And a lot of us are guilty of doing that. We have to begin to hear the people around us, because a lot of it is good information, is good, meaningful conversations. And those are the conversations that you're going to remember.
Yeah, conversations change a whole lot of things. And I know that my mom's family is from the South, and I was born in Reading, Pennsylvania, up north. Up north is different from the South. Like, people don't understand that, especially if they've never experienced the North, that up north is kind of like, okay, hurry up and get done. Say what you're going to say. We don't have time to do all this talking. The South, they want to, have a whole dialogue with you and converse with you. And I had to understand that it's good for people to converse with you because communication builds bonds. But people also don't understand that when you're speaking with someone, you got to understand where they're coming from, because everybody has a different perspective. Everybody has a different background, and some of the life experiences that you may have been through, they may have not. So they may not understand. And that's why they're not responding the way that you want them to respond. I know that one of the things that my mom used to say, no, you can't do this. Why? Because I said so. And I used to hate it. Like, what is because I said so? Like, that's not a legitimate answer. Because I said so, like, but why are you saying no? I mean, I'm asking you to do something that is okay for me to do, but you're saying no, and I'm saying why, and you're saying because I said so. And that's one of the things that I try to, even with my nephews, and I have a daughter, I try to have conversations, because I want them to know that your voice is just as important as mine. I'm not here to tear you down. I'm just here to direct you and make sure you're not making deadly mistakes. I've experienced working in a prison. I understand that the men that are in prison mostly didn't have that parenting. They didn't have nobody speaking over them, speaking to them. So they just made irrational mistakes because they wanted attention that they weren't getting in the home.
Awesome, awesome. Anybody else? Kenyatta?
I don't have anything else to add.
Awesome. Monique?
So I just wanted to say, first of all, Shantae is a fireball, okay? In Virginia, up at that mic, Shantae is a fireball, and the importance of communication. And a lot of us, we don't look at the 3 different aspects, Shantae, that you talked about. So thank you for that. And thank you for sharing that in terms of the sender, the receiver, and also the feedback. So I want to thank you for that. And that's not just important for personal relationships. And you talked about that when you presented in Virginia. You talked about the impact and how important it is for communication and personal relationships. And especially when you're looking to build relationships, even with your significant other and bonding. So that was key in terms of being able to be successful in terms of communication, even in business, in the space that we're in, coaches, entrepreneurs, authors. It's important that we understand that in order to be successful with our clients and those that we serve. It's important that we understand that our clients and our customers and our consumers also have a voice, and we listen to that voice and understand how we can better fulfill their needs and how we can better serve them. So communication is extremely, extremely key. I just want to go back and just reiterate again, the importance of her fire tour and the importance of showing up. And one of the things that Sonia mentioned in terms of your recent experience with, taking another position and not, what I've learned is that other people's opinions of me is their business. That's their business. I'm not even concerned or worried. Other people's opinions are their business. And you know what? We have to stop speaking our vision and mission and purpose to people that are committed to misunderstanding or that don't understand. So it's not that I don't want to be friends with you. It's not that we're no longer cool. We're cool and we're okay. But my vision, my purpose, my mission, that's not a conversation that I'm going to have with you, because your negative feedback is none of my business. And then we ask and we have these conversations with people that are in different spaces that don't understand, right? That don't understand. And then we get annoyed when their feedback is negative, but they don't understand. So you know what? We stop bringing it to them. And that's when you collaborate and network and build and connect with a group of like-minded women and people that will hold you accountable for that mission, for that vision, and for that goal. And the last thing that I want to add is that our anointing is serious, right? And obedience is hard. And what I've learned over the last 2 years is to be obedient. So when God speaks to me and he says, you know, Monique, this is what you need to do. For years, I wasn't. And I wasn't because I was afraid, right? Of what people will think, who my audience is going to be, who's going to like what I said. Okay, I'm posting too much. I'm sending out too many emails. I'm talking about myself too much. There's too many pictures. Listen, that type of attitude is going to get us nowhere far, right? Nowhere far. I'm not going nowhere far. So I had to get to a point of really being obedient and understanding that if this thing that I'm birthing is going to work for me, one, I have to believe in it. I have to believe in myself. I have to be obedient, and I have to know that my talent and my gifts will make room, right? Your talents and your gifts will make room. So there is no, once we start, it's going to be tough and it's not going to be easy. And sometimes it takes years. I started in 2016. It wasn't until the last 2 years and the pandemic where I really sat down and got full clarity of the direction that I'm going in, right? And I got full clarity and I started connecting. Angela and I connected from another group and we've been on fire since. And I want to say that was this year, right? And we've already collaborated and have done so many things together. And this is just the beginning, but I am obedient now through the fear. I'm obedient because I said, if he gave this to me, he's going to make it happen for me. So being obedient sometimes is difficult, but in this space, we have to learn how just everything else, along with everything else in life struggles, is to be able to get through this difficulty, understanding that, you know what, if this is the talent and this is my gift and this is my purpose, it's already done. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So again, just, you know, look, her fire tour, you have to be in the room. You have to be in the room. And now's the time. So look, I can't wait to meet some of these sisters in person. I can't wait to meet you. You are absolutely phenomenal, each and every one of you. And thank you for continuously, you know, pouring into me and again, being transparent and sharing your stories and everything that you have to bring to the table.
There you have it, the herfiretour.com. Get your tickets, Atlanta, July 9th. It is going down. I think all of them are going to be special. I think it's going to be something specialer about Atlanta. It something special about Atlanta moving forward. As we go through each city, we're building momentum. And then by the end of the year, child, please, you're going to say, I'm a different woman. I'm a different person because I received what I call fire transformation. I don't know about y'all, but each city I grow, each city my faith is elevated. Each city I see myself differently than I did the previous city. By the time we left Charlotte, I was like, I am. I was like, look, this is the world's #1 platform for new aspiring female speakers, authors, coaches, female bosses, ministers, solopreneurs. This is the #1 platform. Why? Because when we come together, we're stronger. When we love on one another, we can leave a legacy of love and what that really, really looks like. Look, so you're on YouTube. Let me know where you're on YouTube. I want to shout out to one of our sponsors for Atlanta, Kendall with K&J Running. I'm going to blast him out. He is listening on YouTube. He's watching. So kudos to you, one of my buddies in the ATL. Special thanks to our sponsor, Monique Denton. Thank you for our sponsor, Bless. Thank you for our sponsor, Soyan Spencer and Luxury Loans, for making sure we look amazing in our events. Thank you for all that are listening. Thank you for women that are showing up. I want to thank my mama for birthing me. That's what I want to thank. I want to thank my mother for birthing me at 3:10 a.m. August the 3rd. Thank you, Mama, for birthing me. I thank God for the call that He have on my life. I thank God just for the grace. Ooh, the grace. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and she said, I want to know how you do in 12 cities. She said, I plan events, and I can't even imagine. She said, I'm just going to sit back and I'm going to watch. How you do in 12 cities? This is like above what I even thought that the tour was going to be. But look at God. He's sending, and He sent women such as yourself that say, you know what? I hear the call to be a part of her Fire Tour. I hear the call to connect with that little girl from the East Side Detroit. I want to connect with this tour because I know this is where I belong. This is my community. This is home for me. So I thank you guys for showing up. So y'all ready to go to school? Let's get y'all pencils and papers out because I'm about to take y'all to school. We about to go through some training, and I'm about to just drop some little nuggets on you real quick, and we're going to be out of here. I want you to think for a moment. I want you to think about where you are in your life right now. Think about where you live right now. Think about what you have in your account right now. Think about what you're driving right now. Think about all the things that you have going on in your life right now. And from a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to write down 10 being the greatest and 1 being the least. Think about, is this the life I ultimately want to live? Am I in a place that I want to be? And whatever your number is, wherever you at, if you're on Clubhouse, put your number in the chat. If you're on YouTube, put your number in the comment section. You're on Zoom, put your number in the chat so we can get clear of where you are right now. And I want you to be really honest with yourself. Take a self-inventory. Like, let's have a motivational check right now. Am I living the life that I want to live? Do I wear the clothes that I want to wear? Do I wear my hair the way I want to wear it? Do I have the weight that I want? Let's be really real with yourself for a moment. Is this the life? Come on, I see a 4 in the chat. Anybody else? Let's be real. We family. Let's be real. Let's see. Do I have any 7s? Do I have any 8s? Okay, I see another 5. Okay. Do I have any 9s? Do I have any 10s? And I can be honest, and I can say for me, I feel that I'm living the life maybe at a 6. And I'm going to say 6 because I have room to grow and I'm not really where I want to be. That does not mean that I'm not working to where I want to go. That simply means I'm not there yet. Just because you're not there yet does not mean that you're not going to get there. So I am the proud grandmother of this amazing 7-year-old that will be with me starting tomorrow. So I'm so super excited. I will be on GMA duty for the rest of the summer. And when she was born, I was so simply excited. This is my legacy. This is what I produce. My daughter's having a baby. I was so super excited. When she was born, she looked so much like me that her mother and her father, they felt some type of way because she looked more like me than they did them. And being the first-time grandmother, this really taught me what love is. It really taught me how to feel love and the emotion of love of a seed that you have created. And almost every time I mention her name, I want to cry because of the love that I have for her. When she was 1 year old, her mother and her father, they decided to move back to Detroit. And the only thing I could think about is, will she remember me? Now, for a first-time grandmother, I'm seeing her on a daily basis. And for her to move 10 hours away from me, that was devastating. Because will she remember me? Will she remember the things, the times that we spent together? Will she remember the things that I taught her? Will she remember my name? Will she remember my face? For me, that was devastating. And then as they moved, I made sure we had video chats and we talked on the phone and all those different things. And we built our bond long distance. So years later, when she was 4 years old, I wrote my first book, The Queendom Diaries. And I'm so super excited because we wrote letters to our younger self. And as I'm writing, I'm thinking about, what do I want my granddaughter to learn through my book? And I was so super excited. And I said, Gma, I want you to read this book when you get older. And I don't know about you and how you are with your grandchildren, but my grandbaby have the prettiest brown eyes. And she looked at me, she said, Gma, I may forget. You're going to have to remind me. Now, remember, the word forgetting keeps ringing in my ear. Will she remember me? Will she forgive me? So at that moment, I knew I had to make a decision to live my life intentionally so that she can remember everything that I've taught her. So she can remember what I stood for, that she can remember the things that I said to her. So I knew right then and there, I had to get serious about living this life and leaving my legacy. I had to get serious of how I was showing up as an influencer, as a coach, as an author, as a speaker. I had to get serious. And whatever number that you put in the chat, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s, now it's time for you to get serious from this day moving forward. In your life of being on fire, that you have to do things so very intentionally that the very blueprint that you live by can be passed on from generation to generation to generation. And with the very thought of her not remembering me, remember what I stood for. You mean the years that I walked on this earth, that she not going to remember the words that I spoke, and this the thought that somebody won't remember. I knew I had to get serious about the very thing that I said that I was called to do. So at that very moment, I said, God, you have to give me something that can be remembered, a blueprint, a strategy, a format, a framework, or something. And that's when you begin to deal with me about the fire blueprint. This blueprint can be for success, for marriage, for relationships, for applying to your business, from speaking to coaching, anything. The blueprint is universal for how you want to show up and be remembered throughout generation, through our generation. And I don't know about you, I am a Black woman. I'm a proud Black woman. And as a Black woman, sometimes we live by the labels that we are mad, that we have had to have all these things on our shoulder, and we are strong, and we're this and we're that. I knew I wanted to change the narrative of a Black woman leaving her legacy through her daughters. I don't want my daughter, my granddaughters, and my great-great-granddaughters, and the women who look up to me remember me by all the things that I've been through. I knew I had to change something for the rest of my life. So I wanted to be remembered by what I stand on now, not who I was then. So as you looking, if you're taking an inventory of your life, I want you to really see, do you want to pass the life that you are living right now down to the next generation? Down from the very things that you struggle with. Do you want to pass that down? For me, I wanted my granddaughter to know what it's like to be a feminine woman and not a strong Black woman. So the Elf in this Fire blueprint means embracing your femininity, how you're showing up as a womb man, how you're showing up as a womb on earth that God uses through you. And oftentimes as women, especially when we're being raped, we've been molested, we've been all these types of trauma, we've been through domestic violence, we've been through divorce, we've been through hardship, all these things built up this wall and this strong persona that now I have it all together. In the Elf in the Fire blueprint, I want to show my granddaughter that it is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to be soft. It is okay to be gentle. It is okay to be loving. It is okay to be open because, baby, everybody is not out for you. I want to show her what it's like to really build a business and put a system and put a structure together that I don't have to work hard to build my wealth and my legacy. I don't want her to know that you have to do all these things just to get ahead. I want to leave her my feminine energy, what I stood for as a woman. I want to show her that yes, we have been some things in our family, and yes, women may have been abused, but yes, baby, you still can have a loving relationship when you begin to embrace your feminine energy. Because I understand that God created me as a woman, not as a man. And I don't want to continue, and I didn't want to continue to live and build my business based off masculine energy, based off lack, based off scarcity, based off what I didn't have. I wanted to build my business and change the trajectory of my life based on what God placed on the inside of me, and knowing that what I have is enough. When you embrace your feminine energy, it's all about showing up as the confident woman, showing up as the woman that is secure within herself, knowing how to articulate, this is what I stand for, this is what I want, this is what I'm not going to take. Understanding that the life that you're living, that you deserve more than what you're living. Yes, you may have a 3-4 bedroom house and you may be driving a Bentley or a Cadillac, but is that all to your life? Is that all you're seeking for? The feminine energy says that, you know what? I can create the life that I live, that I want to live, because I am a co-creator with God. And if I am co-creating with God, that means that I can have anything that my heart desires, as long as it's in the will of God. So the Elf in the Fire blueprint is understanding who you are as a woman in your position with God, that you can co-create anything that you want. So the I in this fire blueprint is developing your unique impact, understanding that you have something that the world needs, understanding that your voice matters, understanding that you have a purpose, understanding that you have a call, that you owe the world. Your call and your anointing is so strong that you are robbing others when you're not walking in it in the 100% in the full level of what God has called you in. When you shrink back and when you talking about I'm not qualified enough and I'm not enough, what you're telling God is what you put on the inside of me is not enough to impact the world. When you rise up and you say, you know what, I want to walk into my call, and now you're helping me as the coach. Now you're helping your sister to get out of the places she's been in. Now you're helping a world to understand their impact, understanding that your calling is not connected to what you are going through or what you have in your account, but understanding that God anointed you for such a time as this. And now that you owe the world what God placed on the inside of you. So if you're called to be a speaker, now is your time to speak up. If it's your time to be a change agent, now is your time to rise up and be the change agent that God is calling you. If it's your time to write the book, now is your time to make the impact through the writings in the book that God anointed you to write. If it's your time to start the business, now is your time, knowing that the business that God placed on the inside of you is needed in the world. And understanding that I want to leave a legacy of impact and not infect the world, but impact the world with God placed on the inside of me. I want my granddaughter to know that she have an impact in the world. I want her to know that God can use her at the tender age of 7. I want everybody around me to know that when you embrace the impact that God placed on the inside of you, that everything in your life will come together. Why? Because you have an impact. And if you have an impact, that means your life is the first life that you is ordained to impact. So the R in this fire blueprint is tapping into your riches. I want my granddaughters and my daughters and my sons and everybody who's looking up to me, I want them to know that God placed gifts and talents on the inside of them that will create them wealth. I want them to know they was born rich. I want them to know that there's riches on the inside of them that when it begins to bring them out as answers to the world needs. Your gifts and your talents are answers, are solutions, are gateways, are avenues to how God wants to replenish and replenish the world. Your business is a supply and a demand that the world needs. So when you begin to tap into your riches, you will never have a broke day in your life. Why? Because you have riches on the inside of you. You have rich ideas, you have rich strategy, you have rich words, you have rich words that's written on papers, you have rich content, you have rich products. Everything about you should say, I am rich. And if you are rich, I want to ask you, the number you put in the chat, does that reflect you living a rich life? Does that reflect you living a luxurious life? Does that reflect you living a life that you really want to live? When you have gifts, when you have talents, that means the world is waiting to pay you for your gifts and your talents. And what the problem comes in is now you think because you're not educated that people are not going to pay you. Your gifts and your talents is not based on your education. It's based on what God wants to do through you and how he wants to replenish the earth through you. God wants to bring wealth to earth through me, through my speeches, through my ideas, through my books, through my products, through my courses. That means I am the avenue that God gets to replenish the earth through me. So I want you to say, sis, God have to use me to replenish the earth, because he put riches on the inside of me. So now moving forward, when you're building this fire blueprint, this fire method of success, I want you to know that you are rich, that you have riches that's not connected to this earthly world, but it's connected to the things of heaven. So I want you to say with me, I am rich. So if I'm rich, I want to teach my children how to be rich. I want to teach my grandchildren how to be rich. I want to teach my clients how to be rich. I want to teach my cousins, my mother, my husband, whoever around me, how to be rich and to show up as a rich girl. And if I'm a rich girl, that means there is no lack in my house. That means that I have everything that I need. That means that I am the head and not the tail. That means that I'm above and not beneath. That means that I'm the lender and not the borrower. That means that God has to use me to replenish the earth. So therefore, that makes you rich, and everything connected to you shall be rich. So let's get into this E in the fire blueprint for success. The E is showing up extraordinary and creating your extraordinary life. Sis, I don't know about you, but I got tired of living a common life. I got tired of just living any old kind of way. I got tired of shrinking back, and I got tired of dumbing down. I don't know about you and how comfortable with you are and how you show up, but I got tired. I got tired of always making excuses of why I didn't do certain things. I got tired of when people that appeared to be more above me step into rooms, into Zoom rooms and on social media, I shrink back as if I was not important. But when I understood that I was leaving my legacy and I was teaching my granddaughters and people who's looking up to me, that I was teaching them how to shrink back, that I was teaching them that their voice wasn't important. I was teaching them that their business was not significant. But when I understand that God anointed me for such a time as this, when I really begin to change my self-image, I really begin to look and dig and see what was on the inside of me and what God put in my hands was worthy of me giving it a try, was worthy of me building the faith. I started saying, hold on, Angela, you are a girl on fire. You are in high demand. You no longer have to shrink back to fit in somebody else's box. You no longer have to dummy down to make other people feel that they're smart. No, you are smart. So every time you go into a room, you enter the room and you make your presence known. So I want you, the next time you enter into a room and you go into a space that you don't feel like you qualified enough, I want you to remember that you are a girl on fire, that everything that you touch you will set ablaze. I want you to know as a girl on fire that you are feminine, you are impactful, you are rich, and you are extraordinary. No longer you waiting on the sidelines, waiting on God to call your name. Now it's time for you to rise up and be the fire girl that God has called you to be. No. Don't let nobody else go before you again. Now is your time to be in front of the line. Now is your time for your name to be called. Now is your time for you to be well known across the land. Why? Because you are feminine. You are impactful, you are rich, and you are extraordinary. So I want you to get your phone out, get something, look yourself in the mirror, and I want you to declare right now that I'm not shrinking back anymore. That I'm going to live the life that God called me to live. If I got to do it at all costs, if I got to do it no matter what, if I got to do it crawling, I will crawl. If I got to do it walk until I get enough strength that I could run, but whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. That I'm not going to let myself get in the way of my small thinking and my limiting beliefs, get in the way of what God has called me to do. That I know that the world needs what I have, and I'm going to speak loud, I'm going to speak proud, and I'm going to set this word ablaze. I need you to know that you matter. I need you to know that your products matter. I need you to know that your book matter. I need you to know that your coaching program, it matters. Your speech matters, and it is needed in the earth. So now, sis, now it's time for you to get to a place where you can ignite her fire. So when you show up, that now you're leaving a fire blueprint. When you show up in the rooms and when you leave the rooms, now that the aroma, the anointing, the snitches being left in the rooms, I want you to walk into a room the next time that your ears begin to ring and your spirit begin to leap and you begin to say, somebody was talking about me. Somebody needs me. Somebody needs what I have. Somebody needs to get my book. Somebody needs to coach with me. I want you to understand that you are the it. You are the one that God is calling to the forefront in this season. You are the one that God anointed. You are the one with all the answers. If everything around you, this is the indication that now is your time. If you are in a situation where everything around you is going haywire, everything around you is going this wishy-washy, that everything around you appears to be unlike, it appears to be not going in your favor, now that you know it's your time. Because your gifts is needed in that space. Your talents is needed in that space. Your anointing is needed in that space. I want you to get to the place where when you get up in the morning, I want you to decree and declare that I'm a girl on fire. That the world needs my feminine energy, the world needs my impact, the world needs my riches, and the world needs me to show up extraordinary. Now it's time to take matters into your own hands. You have sat back long enough. You have cried long enough. You have rocked yourself to sleep long enough. You have been undecisive long enough. You have been weary long enough. You have been stressing long enough. Now is the time for you to stir up that fire, ignite that fire, and rise up and be the woman that God has calling you to be. So, sis, what I need you to do, wipe your eyes, put on some clothes, look good, put your makeup on, do something to your hair, and I need you to go out into the world and show them what God has done in your life. Show them what God put on inside of you. Show them the fire that God is calling you to walk in this season. Show them all the naysayers, all the ones that said you weren't qualified, all the ones that pushed you to the side, all the ones that overlooked you, all the ones that's backbiting, all the ones that walked out on you. Now it's time to show them what God was doing in the background. Show them what God was preparing in you. Now is your time, sis, to set this world ablaze. Now is my time. Now it is our time. So those numbers you put in the chat, I need you to prophetically declare that I'm living a 10. Prophetically declare that I am already in my next. Prophetically declare that I am rich, I am feminine, I am impactful, I am extraordinary. You are a part of the Her Fire Tour because you heard the clarion call of fire girls rising up, stepping to the stage, sharing their story unapologetically, declaring to the world, now is my time to set this world ablaze. Now is my time. Come on, I'm living a 10. Now is my time. Now is my time. Now is my time. Well, my speakers that come forth, now is my time. Now is my time to walk in fire. Now is my time. Now is my time to declare the word of the Lord. Now is my time to walk in the fresh oil. Now is my time to walk in the anointed. Now is my time to walk in power. Now is my time to be authentic. Now is my time to speak globally. Now is my time. Now is my time. Look, thank you guys for listening. The Her Fire Tour online experience. If you have not registered for the Her Fire Tour, Charlotte, Atlanta, Dallas, Baltimore, New York, Myrtle Beach, Raleigh, Detroit, Chicago, Miami, now is your time to get in the room with other fire girls, with other like-minded women, with other girls that have transformed their life. Now is your time. Now is your time. Speakers, you guys can come off mute, turn your cameras on. We're going to give our final words and we're going to close out. Anybody have any words?
I do. It's not allowing me to turn my camera on for some reason. But
what about now?
Okay, let me see. Yep, there it is.
There you go.
I just want to say, if I wasn't a speaker, I would definitely be in the audience. After that, you have ignited the fire that I know I needed.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I will definitely be there. And hey, out there, if you have not already, get your tickets for the Her Fire Tour, because it will be lit. So yes, I it's something that I need. So I'm looking forward to all of the other speakers and meeting everybody, because everyone has something that I know that I need. There are still places in my life that I know that I need healing and I need to work on. And just listening to everyone, I know that I will get that in that room on July 9th.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Anybody else? Sonia?
I will not be at Atlanta Her Fire, but everyone still get your ticket. I will not be at Atlanta, but I'll be at the next one. I will be celebrating my daughter's gender reveal on that weekend. so that's why I won't be there. But I will be at the next one. So get your tickets. ATL, one of my favorite places to go. Angela know that. She was like, "You're not gonna go to Atlanta." But
all your besties in Atlanta.
All my besties. Yes. So I'm like, I can't believe I'm not gonna be there, but I'm gonna encourage them to get their tickets. Yes. Get the tickets. Get the tickets.
Shantae?
It definitely is the place to be. The Her Fire Tour experience will change your life. Anything that you are going through, you will get healing and restoration. You will get clarity on your vision. You will get understanding of your anointing. You will get understanding of your faith. You will get understanding of the prayers that you've been praying about. So if you don't have your ticket, baby, Her Fire Tour is the place to be. There's no other place like it. I don't care what you heard, what you saw, what your cousin told you. It's no other place like it. It will be transformational.
Yeah.
Just this small amount of time, I have definitely got some confirmation and clarity.
Yes, yes. Coach Lee, you have anything? I see you starving. What's going on about your day? You have anything you want to share?
Yes. So I want to add, if you are in a position of starting your journey and putting yourself first and doing the things that you need to do for you, be in that room. Be ready to be transformed, healed, network, meet, collaborate. You never know. Being in that room may be the start of your journey of you actually walking into your room so dramatically. Let me tell you, Charlotte was powerful. Richmond was talk about the healing going on in that room, that faith. I know Atlanta just going to be bringing it. And I'm looking forward to being in so many other cities, New York, Dallas, Myrtle Beach, Raleigh, Miami. I want to see you, Baltimore. I want to see you all there. Let's come together so we can be on this journey. You're not doing it alone. So won't you come together so you can be having some assistance with you on your way. See you there. And guess what? Don't say I'll see you there. Beat me there. Be there before I get there. And I show up early. Be there before I get there and I show up early. See, you say Her Fire Tour is on fire. Come and get that fire. Be on that wave. Yes.
Yes. Tamara?
I was in the room in Charlotte. Listen, when you step into the room with AB on the Her Fire Tour, you will not leave the same way that you came. You will leave with clarity. You will leave with a renewed sense of yourself. You will leave with direction. And not only will you leave with those things, you're going to be partnered with someone in that room that's going to help you along your journey of self-discovery. AB is in the transformation business. She's in the transformation business. You are not going to leave the way that you came, y'all. Get your tickets so that you can attend the next Her Fire Tour date, because like if you look at your life a year from now, everything that you're looking to accomplish starts from today. It starts from today. And so you don't want to look at your life a year from now saying woulda, coulda, shoulda. There is going to be a seed that's going to be sown into your life in that room, and you don't want to miss it. You do not want to miss it. So I encourage everyone to get your ticket and show up and start your journey of self-discovery and healing, because there is nothing else that we can do, because we can't go backwards. All we can do is go forward. And this is one of the things that's going to help you get there, but you have to get there physically and mentally. You have to get there. And I thank you so much. Thank you. Thank all of you ladies. You've been phenomenal today. I appreciate you all so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Monique.
So this again has been so just motivating for me, but it made me think back to a couple of years ago when I believe it was 2018, and I received an Esther Award. And I received the Esther Award. So I said, you know what, let me look up. I had to really read and do some research about my sister Esther. And when I researched Esther, I realized it really came full circle for me that your story is what happened to you, but your story is not for you. Your story is to empower someone else. And what I learned is that, see, Esther had a story, right? Esther was able to save a nation because she shared, as afraid as she shared who she truly was with the king to save a group of people. There is someone in the audience, there's someone on this broadcast that has a story that someone else needs to hear. So not only do you have to be at the Her Fire Tour as an attendee, you need to step up to the plate and step up to the mic and be at the Her Fire Tour as a speaker. You see, there's some Esthers on this call.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's some Esthers, and someone is waiting to hear your story to be saved and empowered. Your story and what happened to you is not for you, right? It's not for you. It's not for me. It happened to me, but it is to serve and to share and to empower and to motivate and inspire someone else. There's some Esthers on the call. We need you to step up to the plate. We need you to share. We need you to go ahead because there is a calling on your life to serve and to empower. HerFireTour.com. Look, ladies, we welcome you. And we're waiting for you. HerFireTour.com. My sister Angela, thank you so much for your platform. And thank you for all that you do to encourage, empower, and educate and teach us how to eloquently and impactfully share our stories.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Anybody have any? It's almost like I don't want to go home, but I gotta go. This has been a really great time, a really time of empowerment. I don't know about y'all, but I feel empowered.
I do.
I feel empowered.
I'm so glad I came on.
feel empowered. I feel a great sense of togetherness and unity. And I always say when we're together, we're unified, that means God can move however he wants because there's no resistance in the room. We are all in a place where we're surrendered, we are yielded, and we are expecting God to do something. I don't know about you, but I'm expecting God to heal some people, set some people free, remove from scales from the eyes. I know my assignment that God strategically told me what this tour is going to do. But if you're listening, what I need, what we all need, what I want, what I need, all however you want to put it, I need you to go to www.herfiretour.com. www.herfiretour.com. If you can't be in Atlanta, if you know people that live in Atlanta, call them and tell them that you need to be in the room. You don't have to be a speaker. You don't have to be an author. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a minister. Be in the room because you love yourself, because you know it's your time, because you know that there's something that God wants to release to you. I don't know about you, but if Monique would have never came into my life, there are some things that I would not have got. But because God strategically brought us together. We've been friends on Facebook for 4 years, but never had a conversation, never had a like, never had a comment, never nothing. All because we decided to become a part of the same group. We got connected. That's what it does. That's what this platform does. This amazing group of women that decided, you know what, when we show up, We're just not going to show up any type of way. We're going to show up feminine. I know I look cute today, y'all. I was like, oh, she is real cute. Real feminine. We're going to show up impactful. We're going to show up rich. I love what Monique said. Okay, it's okay to live a luxurious life. It's okay.
Yes.
It is simply okay. It's okay if I don't want to go to the grocery store and walk through the aisles. I want them to deliver my food at the door. It is okay. If they want to call it bougie, they call it what they want. But I call it, I live in my life how I want to live. And I want other people to go grocery shopping for me. I'm going to do that. That don't make me less or above anybody else. It's what I decide to do. If I don't want to wash dishes, I don't have to wash dishes. It's the life that I want to live. If I want to hire me a vegan chef, guess what? I hire me a vegan chef. That's the life that I want to live. If you want to go spend $200, $300 for your hair, your nails, that's the life that you want to live. I say point blank. So anybody have any feedback from Ignite Her Fire message, anything else? That's it. You ready to close out? You ready to close out? So look, if you have not gotten your tickets, go to www.herfiretour.com, www.herfiretour.com. So I want all my speakers to come off mute. So y'all already know when I say her, you say what?
Fire. Fire.
Fire.
Fire!
Fire. Fire. Fire.
Meet us at the Her Fire Tour at www.herfiretour.com. And you already know, I will see all of y'all in the fire. Y'all be blessed.